my line, or did you even need to talk? Are you wasting time, declining all your FaceTime calls? Cause you're not my vibe, but God just let me go to sleep. Someone get high with me, yeah, cause I'm running away. I'm looking for space. Looking for space. I'm healing from all of the pain. I'm running away. Cause I feel lost right now, and it's hard to breathe. And I've lost myself. What happened to me? Stop texting every second, I just wanna disappear. Like a fly up in my ear, you don't ever wanna stop. Yeah, you have me kicking rocks, just leave me alone for once. Just leave me alone, I'm running away. I'm looking for space. I'm healing from all of the pain. I'm running away. Cause I feel lost right now, and it's hard to breathe. And I've lost myself. What happened to me? What happened to me?
All right, everyone, welcome tonight. Good night to everyone who is watching at this moment. Not sure how many are out there taking the time to watch it on this Saturday. I hope you're all having a fantastic weekend, that you're having a fantastic time. Thank you for being supportive of this channel, for always being there to watch the videos, to listen to what we have to share here, and it's truly appreciated. It doesn't go unnoticed, you know, like what people do and the lengths that people do in order to support the channel. I know many of you might be busy, might be at work, might be doing other things at home with your families and all that, but you still, I want to say thank you to those who even stop by just only for just to say hello. I appreciate that. It's always rewarding, and as one of the things that keeps us going on this channel, it's the, you know, be able to always provide that content for every person that is watching this. Let me see if I can adjust the camera a little bit here. All right, feels that's a little bit better. I'm not like hunched down right there, but I want to say to everyone, thank you very much. Tonight, as I mentioned last video, which was not last week but the week before, I was away. I was celebrating my 20th anniversary with my wife of marriage, and of course, what other anniversary we can have for 20 years. But we were celebrating, so we took some time off, travel a bit. We went actually to down south to Miami, to South Beach, and we spent a long weekend over there. It was fun. Expensive. South Beach is expensive, but there was a lot of food, and I did a lot of great Cuban food and Latin food and great coffee for sure. And it was fun. We had a good time. Going and seeing the place and all that, being at the beach and all. So it wasn't bad. So that was the reason. During that weekend, of course, we had the next showcase from Prime One Studio. I was on the way back. Technically, I didn't have a chance to do the live video as normally do because, of course, I wasn't here. But I segmented the video into a lot of segments just to help everyone out. If you want to watch something in the channel. You can go to those little segments to watch every single thing, and you can share your opinion there. And also, my most recent video, I did my top 10, my top 10 picks of the things on the show that I really like. And not only that, my top 10, but also my you know, my final thoughts, what I thought about the god, what I thought about the whole event and all that. So I think it was fun. It was really fun. And just for a note, I did get the chance to talk to, I think, to the Prime One Studio owner, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure if there's multiple owners, but the one that who I know. And he told me in a conversation, he shared that they're planning to do another next live showcase this year, because I wasn't sure in that video I mentioned that, you know, nothing was mentioned if there was another one, but there are plans for them to have another showcase later in the year. They don't know the time yet, but that's good. You know, that means that Prime One Studio is really working hard to really bring the best of the best, and kudos to them. Congratulations for a fantastic event, and I'm hoping that they continue to produce the amazing content that they do. So we'll see what happens for Prime One Studio. It was definitely a fantastic presentation. To me, that was a 10-10. The best presentation they have done so far. From all the presentations they have done, I think this was the best. You know, it was so well executed. The production level of it was on top. The way they kept everything flowing, it didn't lose momentum. Others in the past, sometimes they kind of drop a little bit. No, they kind of kept you going, and they didn't linger so much in certain things. They just went straight. Some things, of course, they did, but give it more time for obvious reasons from some of those brick projects that they have. But I think it was good. So yeah, watch my video if you haven't watched it. Here on the channel, where I talk about my takeaway from the show and also my picks from there. But today now that you're here, we have really an interesting event. Let me go. Today we have we're gonna talk about a lot of the things that happened within this 2 weeks, a lot of releases. I'm gonna try to keep it short and simple, although it never really works out so good. I might stay here a while. I'm gonna try not to. I try to, you know, not to really take much of your time on this, but I want to get into the bottom of things, and I want to be able to talk about those things. So in the action figures world, I really want to cover today Mondo. Mondo has some really nice news today. They are at C2E2. This event is growing, really. And I think there's more companies there nowadays. Even PCS, I think, is there today. There's so many companies now bringing stuff into this big convention, and that's great. So Mondo's there. We're going to talk about the stuff that Mondo released, and also they got some news for Thundercats fans. We're going to look at EXO 6, Picard Captain Lian Shaw. This came out last week, but if you're a Star Trek fan, you like Picard, then definitely this is another one. Infinite Statue also released. This Italian company released a Phantom of the Opera action figure, so we're gonna look at it very quick. Executive Replicas, they have produced a lot of action figures on the smaller scale, the 1/12 scale. Now they're getting into the 1/6 scale, and I think they already released this for some time ago, but it's now a spec fiction. We're gonna look at the stuff they have here, which is very interesting. Threezero, this week they have a lot of releases. We're gonna look at the releases they have today. We're gonna look at Hot Toys. Hot Toys has there's some news about Hot Toys. They canceled some projects they already had, but this week they also released some amazing pieces for Star Wars fans, and I want to look at them today. If you're into the gaming franchises from Star Wars, I think the figures that they released this week, they're killers. So we're gonna look at the ones that they have this week. We're gonna look at the statue world. I want to talk a little bit about Oniri Creations. This company, they had an announcement. They are coming back, probably with a different name, of course. They were bought, or all the assets were bought by a different company. They're in the works on that. So some of the projects that were pending, they're probably the possibility for them to come back. So we're gonna look at that. They have I would say a announcement in social media. We're going to look at the announcement, we're going to read it, we're going to go through and look at the things that I see there, the good, the bad, whatever. We're going to look at Iron Studios, of course. It's Inside Day just happened yesterday. We're going to look at the releases that were there. There were not that many, but they had some really cool releases, so we're going to look at them today. Kotobukiya, we're going to look at the stuff they released this week. We also, Kitsune statue, this also French company. They have if you're a Berserker fan, they have a new PVC statue. Figurama, we're gonna look at another piece. You're a One Piece collector, you love One Piece, the company Limit Studios is doing a crossover or a collaboration with Penguin's Toys. We're going to look at that today. Weta Workshop released recently a new statue in the 1/6 scale collection. We're going to look at that one. Sideshow Collectibles, we cannot miss Sideshow. Hey, Batman, what's up, my friend? Thank you, no problem. I understand. Thank you for stopping by and saying hello. Appreciate you, my friend. Sideshow Collectibles, Rogue and Gambit. A lot of people are excited for this one. This is a 1/5 scale statue. We're gonna look at this beautiful diorama. We're gonna look at Sume art. We're gonna look at Dream Figures. This company is releasing an inspired Frank Frazetta Dead Dealer, quarter scale statue. We're gonna look at that today. Tri Eagles, always doing the Ghostblade stuff, amazing looking stuff. We're gonna look at that. PCS, they released last week Kami, the powerlifting Kami, and there's different versions. We're gonna look at PCS. We're gonna look at Prime One Studio releases of this week. They have Prisma Wind. Also, they have the Power from Chainsaw Man, one of my favorite pieces at the presentation. Not because I'm a fan of the franchise, but because I like how simple. It's a nice, simple, well-executed piece. We're going to look at that today. We're going to look at Pure Arts. And we're going to look also at Unique Arts. They have a life-size King of Fighters 97 statue. So definitely it's going to be an interesting week. And we're going to cover as much as we can. But again, I want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you, my good friend Batman, always supporting this channel. Anyone else, thank you very much for being here. All right, so let's get into it. Let's start with the action figures. And for that, we're gonna go to let me take you we are going to right here at Mondo. This is the website. We're gonna go other places as well. We're gonna go to Facebook and all. This is the stuff that we have here. You can see now there are a couple of things. There were what they call warehouse finds. I noticed that these are things that they wear this week, of course, because they are right there. C2E2, they release a lot of stuff, a lot of statues that were found, a lot of things that were already sold out. They back on sale. So if you're interested right now, this is the best time to come to the website. A lot of the stuff's already sold out. I went back, I was looking at some stuff that I was interested that I did not get the chance to order. When I have the opportunity today, it was already sold out. Yesterday already sold out, so I didn't get the chance. I'm still gonna keep looking. Maybe something else pops up. But here you can see the X-Men animated series Magneto San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. It made a comeback. It is almost gone. $225. So you want to pay the retail price that they offer at the beginning. This is the time to come and do it. There's no better time to do it now. Let's see. We can see here what they have here on this on the 1/6. On the warehouse fine sales, they have the Master Universe He-Man is back again. I think this is the regular version. You also have the Hordak if you're interested on that. Let's see if there's anything there. It appears that this is constantly changing. I will tell you this because I did notice that let's see, we can see they added some other things like the Spider-Man statue exclusive, the Rick and Morty figure set. They're there. I think they've always been there. So yeah, I was looking at that. They did have Rogue, unless it's already sold out. Let me see. I think they already cleared the website, but yeah, they had everything. They have from they had Rogue, they got Wolverine, they got Saber-Tooth, Jubilee, all the pieces that, you know, they've been on special for, you know, not special, but they've been on in this sales and this limited time sales. They have I was interested as soon as I saw they got He-Man. They also have She-Ra, and I was interested for the exclusive one, but when I got there they only have the regular, so I said whatever, I want the exclusive one. So I did not get the chance. They also have they also had the what's that Thundercat. I'm just making things up as I go right now. They have everything. Battle Cat. They have Battle Cat. So they have Battle Cat, and that one is you know, it was sold out, man. That was like, you know, there. So they, you know, it was a great time. I think a lot of people were doing. I think they already had it since Thursday. I did not notice till, yeah, I did kind of read a little bit. I said, oh, I'll check it out. And I knew that it would, and I'm thinking they're going to be sold out quickly. They don't have that many. But then by Friday, I noticed that they still have some, you know, some stuff. But by that time, some of that stuff was already sold, selling out. So it's like, okay, they didn't get the chance. So it appears that they only, they're kind of bringing them in as they go. And right now they only have this 3. I think the most important in that list definitely would be Magneto. If you miss on Magneto, this is the one. This is the time. This is the time to get Magneto for the 1/6 scale. It's almost gone. And again, this is the limited time edition. So by, you know, just do it before it goes. So it has all the different porters. Well, this is the San Diego Comic-Con. There was another version too, as I remember well, that they don't have this one. This is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. So, you know, if you're missing on that one, this is a good time for a good price. Definitely also the He-Man, just the regular version, almost gone. And if you want that Hordak, also nice one, this is the time. All right, let's move on. If we are here at Mondo, one of the things that they release, or one of the things that they are talking about right now, let's see if we can see it. Trying to see if we can see the fandoms. I'm trying to figure out, because they had this announcement here. I saw it on my phone. I'm not sure if there's a difference right there. There's all the pieces. I want to look at that. But they did announce right here. This is what we need. The latest, that was the announcement that Mondo did at this celebration. They are going to start doing 1/6 scale Thundercats figures, which is interesting. I'm not sure what kind of style they're going to use, whether it's going to be cartoon accurate or they're going to go with something more in line with what they do with the Masters of the Universe, kind of like more realistic in the take. I don't know, but they said that this year they're going to start releasing these. Definitely, it's a great year for Thundercats fans. It seems that a lot of companies are doing Thundercats stuff, whether it's in the statue form and action figures, things like that. But now Mondo's getting also into the train. They also announced that the X-Men 97, based of course on the TV show. I just watched the most recent episode. Cyclops 1/6 scale figure is coming this year. And they are at the booth 100 right there at C2E2. So you are in the area, you're planning to come to this convention, they might as well just go there. But this is the news. Thundercats is coming, and definitely this is interesting news. I want to see, you know, like I'm still holding on to my figures from Mezco, which are bigger than 1/6. They're probably, I don't know what scale they are. They could be close to 1/5 scale. I think there are 1/5 scale figures technically, because of how big they are, like 15 inches tall or more. I'm still holding on to those figures. I've been holding on for years. It would be nice to have something, at least something more complete than just also what Super 7 has done with the smaller, something more in that lane and the, you know, that size and that scale. I would love to see something within the 1/6 scale. So we'll see. But yeah, that's great news. Now going back to the things that they have, Mondo. This is one of the specials already sold out. This is this Werewolf by Night. They already released those. The other versions, but this is for the event. They have this, which in my opinion, I will tell you this is actually my favorite from all the Werewolf by Nights that they have released, even with the classic colors from the comic book. I like this the designer figure, kind of like a drawing, black and white with the red eyes. That is a very good one. It sold really fast, $135. I think it's a fantastic price. I think it looks fantastic, to be honest with you, with that coloration. That is the perfect color in my opinion. Looks so black and white comic book, which it's great. And many of these comic books back in the day, they were in the black and white era, you know. So it looks really cool. I think I like the red. The red in the eyes, they pop, and then that looks, in my opinion, that looks great. So yeah, that I will tell you, that is probably my my favorite rendition there. Really cool. Nice pictures too. I love that they chose the red for the background on this one. Very nice detail for this vinyl figures. Very cool. Simplistic, but really well done. Very nice paint job. Very simple black and white. Vinyl looks good. It is perfect. You know what they should do also, and I know they did in the past, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures that they released. I think they have one with these motifs, but more based on the classic, old comic book. the original design. They never did it with the actual the line of the 6 figures that they have, the tennis return, the basic, the main collection. They did it with, like, you know, the old school stuff. It would be nice if they redo those in this motif with this, you know, coloration, black and white, like ink. That would be fantastic in my opinion. I always love these designs for a lot of figures. It pops in my opinion, and the contrast is nice. So yeah, this is what they have. Very, very cool. Definitely Mondo did a really nice thing. Sold out, unfortunately. If you go to C2E2, you might be able to find them there, if they may have some there in stock. But right now, they don't have them. But I think that's cool, and I'm sure they're gonna appear in someplace on eBay. People reselling it for a lot more, which is always sad. But what I think the main thing about Mondo this week, they have this time edition Batman the Animated Series Bane 1/6 scale figure. They got the regular one, which is this one, the one that they're gonna have for a while. You're gonna find it in other places. But if you want the exclusive at the website, that is only limited to them now, you come to this place here. The artist here is Danny Haas, Tom Rosijowski, Tommy Hodges is always involved there. And here's the piece. I like it. My wife was looking at the picture with me and says, "Oh, those are skinny legs," and you know, it's true. But it's based, of course, on the cartoon. And I like what they did with this one. It's a very nice one. I would say, as much as I like the older ones in this figure, so far, this is my favorite so far. I would say also, of course, Man Bat was also nice. But I think this is great. As a, you know, if you're looking for that piece with a lot of really different factors, like a luchador and all that, then definitely this is the one. Look at this. It comes with the portraits. It has 3 different portraits. I think this is just part of the regular with the hands. So all of this is already cool. But if you want the exclusive, you get a complete new torso with a new head, which is a very cool looking one with the veins popping. That is so funny. I like that this is. And unfortunately, that one doesn't have movable arms or anything. Like, you know, it has no any type of articulation. It's only just for display like this, and I like it like that. I think it's very, very cool. He has the extra different portrait with the natural face of Bane without the juice and the mask on the side. And it's a pretty tall figure, 13.2 inches tall. It's pretty tall, which I think kind of computes with this scale. You know, he towers, you know, Batman for sure. So yeah, they made a good choice on that one. You can see rotating. Very cool. It has the cell shading, but they didn't go overboard with it, which is cool. That, it looks really, really nice. I like that. That is one of my favorite things there for sure. That is really, really cool. All right, so I'm looking at this. Trying to... All right. So that is very, very cool right there. There's are the pictures now with the background, you know, based of course on the cartoon. All right. The only thing that I would dislike, of course, you know, you keep in mind, and this is part of this collection of action figures, the 1/6 collection, is that of course they're action figures that have been oversized from the small size figures into a 1/6 scale. So they still have those like joints, and they're visible joints, and all these little things that might be something that dissuades some people with this collection. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people don't like this collection or anything that has been produced in this scale from Mondo, because they say that it's oversized figures. That's all it is, and they're also overpriced. I would say, yeah, the price is high, but at the same time, you know, you gotta compare now figures nowadays, how much they cost. Like a figure from McFarlane Toys could be around $20 or even $30 at times. So yeah, it kind of computes, and this is a bigger scale with more accessories, and yeah, definitely it's a great detail. In the end, it's a scale. And you can see Batman back there, very cool. So you can come up with some really nice design there, taking the juice out from a scene in the animated series. Those eyes are popping for sure. And this is the unmasked face. He looks like just a regular Joe for sure. Like, who's that guy, you know? Definitely, it's cool. I will say that this is a nice release. Again, if you want the exclusive, so you can have the extra torso, the extra parts, then this is the time to do it. The extra head and the mask. This is the time to do it. I think this is a nice extra. Go for that one, $245. This is going to, I don't know how long it's going to take. Oh, through April 29th. So you only have 2 more days before it just closes the door. And then, of course, you would have to find it in the aftermarket. Or you can, and that is the extra part, that is another $25 just for that extra part. Some people will say that is too much for it. I think it's fair. $220 just for the regular. You can go for that one if you're not interested on that other thing. So it is up to you. But definitely, I like Man Bat. I think the Man Bat and that. Oh, and I forgot. I think one of the best figures in this collection has been the Mask of the Phantasm. Particularly the time edition with the interchangeable portrait. With the, in this case, with the lady with the face of the woman. So, yeah, good to know. For those who are interested, this is the time to go and do it at Mondo Tees. Mondo Tees. Yeah, Mondo Tees. All right, my friends. So let's move on. Let me take you to another company. We're gonna go to X06. They released this week. Well, I think last week maybe, but a new piece in the collection. Let me see. We can see it here. They have other figures in the right now is for sale and then stock, which is great. But the new figure that they have is this for Picard, which is, I think, is a great show. They have the Captain Lian Shaw, and you can pre-order directly here, or you can go to any other place. There's nothing special about ordering here besides just that you get, you only have to pay the deposit, and which I like. And then, of course, you get the figure. And most of the time, you will get X06. The way X06 is, you will get your figure before anyone else. So you order someone else. There's a flat rate international shipping per figure. So you have to order. And, of course, they send you this. The pre-order date ends on May 7. The estimated delivery time is the 3rd quarter. And it's 200 plus 25 flat rate international shipping per figure. I think it's a fantastic rate, $25. And the shipping, I'm not so sure exactly. Okay, I'm not sure exactly how much that would be. But in any case, let's not waste time on that one. Let's see if we can get the pictures. I don't see the pictures here, but that's the only thing that I dislike about the website here is that the pictures are hard to access. But I'm gonna go for that reason at Sideshow. Because at Sideshow, I'm able to look at the pictures. And I will say that I think that there's some changes to the website. I've been trying to access the website on my phone, which is the one I use the most, and it's just giving me a hard time. I don't know if there's something going on with their mobile website or the browser for the mobile thing. It's not working as great in my opinion, so keep that in mind. So I was having a hard time utilizing that the last couple days. So we'll see. But I want to look at the figure here, and this is the Captain Lian Shaw. Again, you can order here. You pay a little more either through Sideshow, but you're more familiar with Sideshow, you feel comfortable with Sideshow, by all means, this is the time to do it. Here, it looks great. As you can see, I would say this is a character that is not a top tier for me to have, as much as I like Picard. But I know that there's a lot of collectors out there who are, heavy collectors. They love to collect anything that has to do with Star Trek and all the different lines. And one good thing I would say about X06, which I like, is the fact that they are releasing figures constantly, from all the different series, and they're like doing it kind of, they spreading them out, like you get from this series and you get from this series and from the other series, which keeps the collectors engaged. Yeah, you might not like Picard, so you might skip something. Or you might not like the Next Generation or something, which I don't know why you wouldn't like it. But, if there's people out there, you're more from the classic stuff. So there is a lot of these different series. And the vastness, the richness of Star Trek is there. And the fact that they're able to tackle these different characters and bring them to life, that in my opinion is great. I think it looks great, the figure. Some people may complain about the likeness, but to be honest with you, I don't see a problem. It even comes with this glass with the wine, which is kind of cool. The tailoring seems fine. The portrait seems fine. So if you're interested right now to keep building your collection, doesn't have many. It has just the glass. It has the hands, the holding hand with the glass, of course, to hold the glass, and you get the handgun, and that's about it. This blaster, and that's all it is. But very cool, interesting. It's still within the price, right? I wouldn't call X06 as at the same level of I would say Hot Toys with the likeness of their faces and portraits is still not there. But what else is out there that can compete right now or has Star Trek stuff? Only X06, and they've been keeping, and the quality of the products is great, you know, and the service is great. So yeah, support this company. These companies actually keep this going, and it's great. And hopefully we get in the future. But it's, you know, unfortunately, Star Trek is in that place where most of the audience is older, and that is a situation where it's hard to kind of break free. So there's not many companies producing stuff, particularly for the older series. The original series, you know, you're talking about old people that watch the series. You know, I was able and blessed to watch the old series. My generation still, I'm a, you know, Generation X, was able still to enjoy the series. But, you know, even a lot of people in my generation did not watch the original series. So, you know, it's one of those things that, hey, I'm glad that they're doing it. So that is X06 for you. Now, another company that I want to cover today here. You see, I'm looking at all the stuff that they're releasing here. I'm looking at this one. We'll come back to this one in a moment, because Threezero definitely has a lot of stuff. But I want to talk about this figure right here. Lon Chaney as Phantom of the Opera. Of course, the classic cinema. This is from Infinite Statue. This is Italian company. There are two different versions. You can go for the collector's edition, which is the basic one right here, or you can go for the deluxe edition. Let's look first at the collector's edition, which is the regular edition. Very classic. One thing I like about Infinite Statue is that they do give you more of a premium. The figure looks fantastic. Comes with interchangeable hands. It's very poseable. And I love that they always provide that really nice stand. And definitely this is for the, you know, the fans of cinema. Those who love cinema and they love the movies. I think this is, you know, caustic plastic, as they call it. This is the line that they're doing for their figures. It looks really, really cool. Very nice detail. You know, people who love cinema, who love movies, you know, classic stuff from movies, will have a lot of fun with this type of figure. Very cool. It's not for everyone, but I would say they did a fantastic job with a portrait. It looks very accurate to the film. And the tuxedo looks very nice. At the base, I think is one of my favorite things there. Very, very classy, very elegant base, simple base. And that's something that, you know, sometimes many companies have these bases, even Hot Toys, where they feel, in my opinion, a little cheap. They invest so much on the figure and then they give you a cheap base, you know? And to me, it's like, okay, why? Don't even bother. Just give me a base and you're going to give me something that is kind of cheap looking. But I like these companies that they're doing that. Like, I seen that with Infinite Statue. I see that with J&D, with even J&D, not what? Sorry, Queen Studios. When NR, they're doing this nice looking bases. And to me, that's great, because that's also, you know, you want to have something to stand the figure, to make it look more premium and change it and post and all that. So yeah, it's great. Sometimes Hot Toys does, you know, don't get me wrong. Sometimes Hot Toys gives you nice bases, but they're more than often they give you like a very cheap looking base. So for a figure that looks amazing and then have a cheaply made plastic base, you know, no thanks. You know, give it a little more love. You know, I'm willing to pay a little extra, you know, because I think Hot Toys is still very manageable with the prices. But just give me something else. Now, this is just for the basic, you know, collector's edition, the regular edition. If you want the deluxe, this comes with a piano, with an organ, which this is definitely the ultimate way to do it. Look at this organ. Looks great. How much is this again for this version? It's $500, $200 for the organ. And I think it's well deserved. Look at this display. This is, I think, the ultimate way to display this. And it's very, very cool. Again, this is not for everyone. This is for some collectors that like this kind of stuff. The very unique thing. The hat is there. The detail there, even in the wood of that organ, looks great. Very nice. The notes. Of course, comes with more accessories. Very, very nice. I'm guessing this is out of plastic. It even comes with the ink and the little feather and notes. So you can do all, you can see everything that comes with it. You can display in many ways. So not only you get the stand for the regular you're paying, and you get all these extra accessories, which in my opinion is fantastic. This is a very cool thing to do. Looks fantastic. So I would say this is great. This is a cool thing. You know, it's cool when companies do cool stuff like this. And by all means, keep doing stuff like that. Appreciate companies that they actually go the extra mile. Now, let me take you, now when we're talking about movies, let me take you to another company. We're gonna go to Spec Fiction because I want to look at the most recent, talking about films and classic stories. There's a new figure that was released by Executive Replicas, and this is for the 2001 A Space Odyssey, the Eva Pod 1/6 scale replica. It's technically a replica, but also comes with an action figure. It's $1,500, which I think is expensive. But this comes with a lot of different action figures. Well, a lot of features. We got light up instrument panels and computer screens, detailed cockpit interior, accommodations for 1/6 scale astronaut in cockpit, illuminated HAL 9000 red eye forward camera, working forward spotlights, magnetic removable rear hatch, movable and fully articulated tactile arms and claws, carefully researched for screen accuracy throughout. So this is the ultimate representation of this. Again, this is for the people who love this, the cinema, and they want to have like those very cool, unique, hard to find, rare pieces in action figures, because not only statues like rare stuff, also action figure collectors also want stuff, not only statue collectors. But here you can see all the panels in the interior, all the light up features on this Eva Pod. Looks fantastic in my opinion. The figure there, so you can pose it with all this, that is super cool. It's a 1/6 scale, so it's not that small. It has some really, you know, it's gonna be big. Here you can see again, this is for scale purposes right here, the figure on the outside. That looks very, very cool. It still is pricey, and some people will disagree with that. People say that that is too expensive for a figure like this. And I would say yes. At the same time, right, we have to recognize that everything that comes in the details, all the light ups and everything that they have added to this figure and this concept is great. Executive Replicas is not a company that is a big company. It's more like an indie company. They do a lot of small figures. And I think they're going into something that is very unique. And I think they're trying to leave a mark by producing something that no one else has done. And I think that's great. This is something that, you know, we have seen people doing custom stuff. You know, there's a lot of customizers out there. But some customizers, they become big, you know, like for example, what you talk about Juice, that now he's producing, you know, the Batmobiles and stuff like that. Juice started just like that, just doing custom pieces for Star Wars, for, you know, for his own collection, and then develop into a company that is producing so many stuff, you know. And for the longest, they were doing stuff that were on license, and now they have licenses. So yeah, Executive Replicas is doing something very unique, and I think that is when you support companies like this, because then you can see that they're investing, they pouring their heart into doing things that are very different, but actually looks amazing on display, and no one else has. At the end of the day, collectors want to have something that no one else has. You know, you want to have something that is precious and, you know, very unique, that it really speaks volume of who you are. And yeah, it's not a cheap one, $1,500. It's available here right now, Spec Fiction. So if you're interested, take a look. You can also look at Executive Replicas. Let's see if we can go there on Instagram to give you an idea of this company. You can see this is stuff they're doing. There's other projects that they're working on. The Assault Tank also. Look at this stuff that they're working on. But primarily they've been doing all these action figures, which are really cool looking. They're on the 1/12 scale. Very interesting looking ones, primarily female stuff. And they also did amazing figures. I will tell you, they have done amazing figures in the last few that people love. That She figure is fantastic. People love their figures. But again, this is a small company trying to get into a bigger market, and I think why not, you know, give them a chance. I will tell you, the quality of their figures has been top notch, and people seem to love the stuff they produce. So yeah, this is something else that we can support them to. Definitely, this is a great new thing, and we'll see how it goes with them. And also, they're doing again. I will show you the Assault Tank. It's a future release, the Lunar Assault Tank. By Commander Cody and the Commander Cody serial. So yeah, here is some So interior parts. So that shows you that this company is really working on trying to bring as they say, they are replicas. They want to replicate a lot of different things. So that is really, really cool. So let's support them. Watch this stuff. At least follow them on social media, just to support them. All right, my friends. Let's go now. I want to talk about Threezero. Threezero had a really busy few weeks as they've been releasing a lot of stuff, and I want to look at some of the stuff they released. Let's see if I miss anything here. This stuff we talked last time around. Some of this stuff we're gonna kind of bypass, but I want to talk about they have new things. They have, for example, Threezero released this Gold CO Power Ranger. For Power Rangers fans, they keep building this collection with all these different ones. Now, Threezero keeps it low budget. They don't really give you a base. Another thing that disappoints me, but they save the money. But this is the thing I was talking about Hot Toys. Hot Toys gives you a cheap base. I would rather have a cheap base than have no base at all. So this is one thing that they do, because normally with this type of figures, when I get Threezero figures, which I have to get my own bases, which I have to go online, and that is a pain in the butt. It would be nice if they give you a cheap base, at least just to keep them standing, just for, because they're not tumbling all over the place and all. But yeah, if you are a fan of, in this case, the Power Ranger Zeo, then definitely this is the Gold Zeo Power Ranger is there. This collection continues to grow. As you can see, they have more of these figures. You can ask me a lot about Power Rangers. I remember the original series and perhaps the follow-up, but much of it I've never been a fan, because definitely I was a little older then, so not necessarily a big fan. But yeah, the original, yes, I did remember watching it. I think the reason why I watched it was because of the Pink Ranger. That's about it. I think most boys did anyway. But yeah, that is the one they have for the Ranger. They released an Ultraman Suit Tyga Sky type. It's another one, $150. This one, again, the Ultraman collection they've been building. Looks fantastic. Like the colors. Although I prefer the ones with more in the red. But this comes with more little parts. It gives me a vibe of an Iron Man. At this point, with all the Ultraman stuff that they've been releasing, it's kind of like they're building an Iron Man collection, kind of, as we did back in the day with the Hot Toys. Hot Toys became very popular because a lot of people were collecting all the different Iron Man suits. They have released so many. So yeah, this kind of feels like that with the Ultramans that they've been releasing. But it looks good. That's another winning from Threezero. Yeah, they keep building those. Here you can see the pieces they have released so far. They got the Ultraman Suit Zero, the Akinori Takaki Ultraman Zero, Ultraman Suit Taro anime version, the Ultraman Suit Zero. So they have so many different variations and versions of it. This is definitely for the hardcore Ultraman fan. You can get that. There are statues out there, but I think with all these figures, there's people that are building these armies of Ultraman, which is kind of cool that they're doing something like this. All right, so keep going onto the Ultraman stuff. I'm the Ultraman, the Threezero stuff. Let me show you another release that Threezero had. There's two here that I want to talk about it, but I want to talk about this one first, which is the Mass Rider, also Shin Mass Rider, for those who are familiar with Kamen Rider, also known. This is definitely for many who are not familiar. If you have watched maybe the couple of things here and there, pictures online, this is Kamen Rider, Mass Rider, as also known. He was definitely it was a TV series. The original was a TV series that started in the 1970s, and that was what they call the second boom of the Kaiju boom. Of course, prior to that in Japan, there was a big boom with anything that's to do with Kaiju, with monsters. Of course, that started with Godzilla. But then on television, of course, that was a big boom, kind of slowed down a bit. And then we have this series, which is Kaiju, or no Kaiju, this series right here, Kamen Rider. And when Kamen Rider came, the Mask Rider came, and that show, it created another boom that started a trend on TV shows in Japan, and of course, you know, animated series, manga, or toys, all sort of things in Japan. It's very popular there, and it brought that second boom what other shows came about. And many of the things that we watch, even the Power Rangers, have pretty much, took inspiration from the Mask Rider. So it's kind of cool that they are paying homage, Threezero, to one of the classics of this genre, and they went for that one. It comes, of course, with the outfit. It has the phones, what he has is his hands, the boots, even has it seems like a light up feature in the eyes, which is a really cool. Now what we need, of course, he answered the phone on that. The call to be a hero is definitely one of those Japanese superheroes. The only thing that is missing is a motorcycle, and I'm not sure if Threezero is going to release one of them. He's a not, you know, different poses. Oh, look at that. He also has like a jacket. That's kind of cool. A coat. Very nice. This is a very cool one. And to be honest with you, if I had to have something more, if I have the choice between to own anything of these figures based on Japanese anime or manga or, you know, television shows, I will go for this one before I go for Power Rangers for sure. The lighter feature looks cool, man. On those eyes. Very nice detail. Very cool. So, yeah, it comes with all these accessories. A very nice looking piece for sure. Threezero, I think the price is also on point, $180. I think it's more than the normal that the other ones they do. But, of course, keep in mind the accessories. And I think the lighter feature, all that. And still, they keep it under $200. That is great. Actually, here's the... here is the accessory to go with that one that I didn't notice until now. You got the Mask Rider. Oh no, this is the more modern one. This is the Cyclone for Mask Rider number 2. So this is not the one. So yeah, they have released the motorcycle. Oh, this is the one. I didn't know. So this is probably one of the newer versions I wasn't aware of. Kind of looks very classic. Okay, but it makes sense. Probably one... I don't know, maybe that was the motorcycle from the 70s or maybe the 80s. I don't know, because there's been so many different series after that. There's been different variations of the Mask Rider over the years. It's a very popular series in Japan. It's one of those classic ones. That motorcycle looks great, and I think with the figure, that's the way to display it. Very nice detail there. So yeah, I would say if you're getting this, you have to have the motorcycle to go alongside it. Here you can see classic picture, or at least they make it look classic. That is very nice. Very nice for the detail. And I think the price for the motorcycle, so they got the two, cycle number 2, they got cycle number 1, so they have 2 different variations of it. Oh, that's on the wait list. But you can pre-order this the cycle number 2. So that means that this is the second number. It is the same figure, or a variation of the figure. So now they have this one, $235. So technically you can have the motorcycle, $235, and the other piece for less than $500. You have a very nice display. Very cool, in my opinion. Worth the investment. Some people might not see it that way, but I do. So definitely Threezero really killing it with that one. There's other Mask Rider number 0 right there. So yeah, that is very cool. So definitely like what they did there with Threezero. Very nice thing. All right, so another thing that Threezero released this week is the Alphonse Elric and Edward Elric. This is another, you can buy the set. I think you can also buy them separately, if I'm not mistaken. I think if I go to Spec Fiction, let me go to Spec Fiction. Yeah, right there on Spec Fiction, you can buy them separate. You can order them direct, or you can order the set as well. Separate fee is $180. That's not a bad price. And Elric is $150. Of course, smaller guy, so definitely that is represented there. But if you look here at Sideshow, $240, you get the 2 main characters here. I think they look really cool. Alphonse and Edward. And there are special parts for the twin pack version. If you buy the twin pack, If you purchase the 2, then you get some extra things just for the package alone, which is great. As you can see, where you can do certain things, different portraits, interchangeable portraits there. I think they look fantastic. You know, we just recently saw, you know, the collection that the Prime One Studio is doing with the statues. They look amazing, 1/6. If you are unwilling to invest that much money for the 1/6 scale statue diorama, which looks amazing, by the way, from Prime One Studio, then this is another option. Also comes with like light up features you can see in the eyes. And the interchangeable, you can remove the head and all. The switch out hands. I think that I like Alphonse. It really looks great. Great detail there. Very nice. This is definitely one of those with Threezero kind of came up with something really good. It looks really good. You can see all the different parts. And it's very poseable. I can see that too. Yeah, he took his arm. And here you got Edward. He look a little bit stocky, like the head all. It would be nice to have like actually a different portrait. I don't know if he has different portrait. One that was more angry. Actually, here he is. So you got one more serious. I don't know if there's like face plates that you have to change, or you can change the portrait as a whole. It doesn't look bad at all. It comes with this spear. You can remove the coat, the red coat. Definitely not bad at all. Oh yeah, here you can see they have the interchangeable portraits. So he had some good ones there too. Very cartoony. And here, of course, you can actually remove the clothing all the way down to this. That's good. Pretty much down to his underwear. Very cool. So you can come to Sideshow if you want this. If you buy this set, then you get the extra parts. You can still buy the single parts, but you know, single by singles. But I don't know why we would like to have to separate. They're brothers that they always together. So you definitely have to have both. If you buy one by one, then you miss a few things. So I would recommend more this set. You can go to Sideshow. You can come here. I'm sure you can also go to Big Bad Toy Store. You can get him there. More than likely you'll find them there. All right, my friends, we're moving again. Amazing. I think Threezero had a really fantastic time. They're releasing a lot of great figures, which is great. But let's get into Hot Toys. Hot Toys had a very interesting week. Of course, there were some. If you come here to, let's go. So they had some. You know, they have to cancel a few figures, and that could create some stir about a lot of collectors talking about this was the end of Hot Toys, or this is a sign of bad things to happen, or that's never happened before. And to be honest, if Hot Toys normally doesn't really cancel a lot of stuff, but there are sometimes things go forever and they never release, or they showcase things that they never go into a pre-order. Hot Toys is not necessarily a company that does a lot of cancellations per se, but it's a company that if the opportunity comes, they will do it, you know. And it's very rare, but they have done it in the past. If I remember, it's been a while since I remember that situation, but it's probably years. But it happens, you know. What can you do? And you know, it's a situation where companies they're navigating this economy per se, and there's a lot of things that don't seem to yield so well. Let's see if we can find it here. I don't know if they release here. I know that I don't know if I saw it on Instagram, the announcement, or is it that I got an email or something. We're gonna look at that in just a moment. Of course, this week we have the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer. A lot of people excited for that. We're gonna look at that eventually. Might not be easy to find here. There's a lot of things that here are Hot Toys. So if not, let me go to Instagram. We might. But I want to say to all of you, thank you very much for being here with me today. Do not forget to leave a like, you know, to leave a comment. Let me know you're watching. we might not even have it here. Well, I was trying to see if we can find it, but apparently not. Unless it was on Twitter. You know, we're not going to linger much on this, but I want to at least have at some point of reference here, just in case it appears that they don't have it. But in any case, we know that they cancel the a version of Iron Man, one of those color weird versions of Iron Man that was supposed to be, what was that? It was supposed to be, it's based on the animated, what was that? I forgot, the animated series on Disney Plus, where they do all this Marvel stuff. I even forget, I just don't recall right now. But they was based on that. Very rare, very unique, very different, not important in my opinion. So that's the cancellation. Flash, of course, Flash, because of the actor, because of the film, really tanked, didn't do well. A lot of people don't care much about it. So yeah, those are the two they cancel. You know, what can you do? Business is business. You had to make money, and they just simply didn't see the potential there, so they decide not to have him. And you know, nothing wrong with that. You know, like I don't think they were that important. So you know, some people will feel frustrated. Some people were hoping for that, you know, to have that particular Flash. You know, but you know, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Maybe in the future they revisit the idea, but right now I don't think it's the best time. They didn't get enough pre-orders. They didn't get enough, even though they say that it has to do with production and the timelines, and they didn't get the chance to it. It has to do with money. Like I will tell you, if a company gets enough pre-orders of something, they're able to manage and put, you know, with the company, it becomes a priority, and they get it released very quickly because they want to make the money as much as they can, because people are pre-ordering. If there's not much demand for that, then definitely they're gonna say all this and that is just production timelines or whatever. And they do have a lot of pre-orders, and that's another thing that Hot Toys might be something that affects Hot Toys. They had so much stuff on the pipeline, but if they keep producing, it's because they're selling it, and you gotta give them that credit because they're selling stuff. All right, so what we're gonna do on this one, let's look at the stuff that was released. And first, I want to show you one thing they released this week that went on pre-order for Hot Toys is this Commander Cody Chrome version. This is one of the things that sometimes make no sense about a lot of things. Yeah, they don't release some things, but then they get these special editions of other things, and all of a sudden they sell really well. And the reality is that people love the special edition stuff. And that is, you know, people were trying to make a comparison between why is it that they allowed this, but they have to cancel Flash. And I would say because, you know, Commander Cody sells, you know, the Star Wars stuff sells over the Flash. So yeah, as long as people are buying these special editions, you know, troopers, they're gonna keep producing troopers. It's a big seller from Hot Toys. That's why they keep producing troopers, because people keep buying them. And if you want a Chrome version, then in my opinion, I don't know why you would like. I prefer just to have classic colors, but there's people out there that want to have something that looks very unique. By all means, it doesn't look bad at all. I think it looks great. The chrome actually makes it look nice and shiny and actually stands out. I'm sure they will stand out in a collection if you have the proper light up feature. And here you can see you can have other versions, I guess, with all the different weapons. It looks really cool. Actually, I like the chrome. I will tell you, I would like to have a play like this in chrome on Battlefront 2. Maybe there is, if I play on my PC, they have a, it's a way for me to do it. A mod. I'm probably gonna look into it. There's a lot of mods in Star Wars for sure, which is always great and fun. But yeah, it looks great. So that's the Chrome version. $260. I think it's just the paint job. It's not like he does have, you know, like die-cast elements, none of that. It's just the paint job. It looked great though. Very nice job there for that one. That's one of those releases they have this week. Now, another release they have this week, if you are if you like Dr. Aphra, then you definitely know who Threezero is and BT1. This killer droids. They have, in this case, Threezero, it's already waitlisted. It didn't take too long. This is a version like the C-3PO, but it's a killer. If you have never read the comic book, I recommend it. I wouldn't say this is my top 10. Dr. Aphra is there. I like Dr. Aphra, but it's not my favorite of the modern comic books. Although Dr. Aphra is super popular for a lot of reasons that are a little more with this. There's a lot of woke messages there. If you get my drift in the comic book that appeal to younger generation. You could call it woke. I'm not trying to use this in an offensive way, but it's more modern readers might feel more in tune with that, not me necessarily. But you know, this guy is like, oh my, he's a killer in the comic book. He's like ready to kill anyone and anybody. That's all he thinks about, killing, which is kind of, it's a sheer contrast between a 3PO and everything that, you know, he was stupid, and this guy is a mastermind of destruction, you know. So it's just different, but it looks kind of cool. And I like that they got all the accessories and all the things that he used for torture, and you know, the stuff that he used to coerce people to whatever. BT1 right there. Very nice. I think if you have to, this is the thing, you can have one and miss the other one. You have to have both because they are, this pair works together. And yeah, that happens even for 3PO and all that, and you know, the classic you know, series. But here, this guy, you have to have, you know, the other guy. There's his companion. They're both murder machines. Here is BT1. BT1 looks really good, $220. He does have a light-up feature, looks really nice. And man, that's the BT1 is if you read the comic book, man, he is like no whole bars type of guy. He blows anything and anybody. Like it's just funny. And I don't know, it's one of those characters that, you know, like the two are just totally off in my opinion. They're crazy, you know, like their mission is just to kill. And they love that. And here you can see all the different parts. Interesting. So yeah, definitely there's gonna be, this is the part where, you know, like Star Wars, the Hot Toys kind of gets into the darker corners of things and bring characters that are popular, because these characters are popular. So it is interesting. Now the next one, and this is the part where it really amazed me this week, where I was definitely excited to see these things, is Lore Starkiller. This is the special edition. And Starkiller is one of my favorite characters in the video games that Star Wars have ever created. I love the game this is inspired, of course. Here you can see, man, look at this one. Starkiller is one of my favorite characters for sure, and it just looks fantastic. Like they went for the, you know, the outfit. This a special edition bonus you get for selected markets. You get the coins with Star Wars and the Starkiller. This is one game that needs to be it needs to be brought back. They need to, I don't know, like I have this game on PC. I have it on, you know, on my PS3. I have it on my Xbox 360. You know, like it needs to be brought. It needs to be it didn't make it to the PS4, you know, like it needs to, or the Xbox, you know, Series X, and now the PS5. It needs to be, like, they have done so many other games that I couldn't think of. They, you know, they optimize them for newer consoles, they upgrade them, they new graphics, the new versions, HD whatever, or 4K this or that. This is one that I would definitely love to see be brought back. You know, why they don't do it, it's one of those things that I like. Okay, let me look at something here. I'm trying to look at something. Yeah, I don't know, but I will say, yeah, it looks great. You know, I don't know. The Force Unleashed definitely deserves to come back in one way. With a new upgrade for newer consoles, it would be fantastic. Well, we have seen there was the version that came recently for the Wii. It's all right. It's just technically the same version as before. I think the Wii has, not the Wii, I'm sorry, the Switch. I'm just one generation behind, 2 generations behind. So, but yeah, we need one that it's, or we need the, you know, like they remaster the whole thing the real nice way, not just kind of like up here and there, but real good remaster. And redo the series, or a continuation of the series, you know, a third part of the game. That would be amazing. maybe, you know, we're going to see this, because sometimes when Hot Toys or the action figures or collectibles kind of give you a hint of what actually is happening behind closed doors, and there's a plan to bring something back to life. We'll see. But this is definitely one of my favorite video games in the Star Wars series as a whole. All these different Star Wars. I love the story itself. Have fun once in a while. I keep playing. I was playing with it. I don't know what I'm doing this. I'm going to this. Sorry, I went to another page that I normally use for photo, you know, to edit photographs. Hey, what's up, Squad Captain? How you doing, my friend? But I think the biggest release from Hot Toys was Darth Revan. That Revan is a character that to me I was not expecting, and technically came out of nowhere. You know, if you're into this, you know, this character and this video game, this series, and by all, you know, this is fantastic. Look at the details there. Let me see what's in the box. You get authentic and detailed likeness of Darth Revan in Star Wars. Body with over 30 points of articulation. So you got a lot of weapons, accessories, LED lights, which is amazing in my opinion. Nice of the Old Republic here. You're a big fan of that. You know, Darth Revan is a character that really so important to that, and in the lore, and even in the comic books and the novels and all that. It's one of the most, I think it's as in the numbers of the most popular characters from Star Wars. Revan surpasses many other, even the original characters in popularity. Like, people love Revan, and I think this is gonna do so well as a figure. You know, in the pre-orders, looks amazing. The light up features with the two different lightsabers of different colors. He looks really good. Very nice detail, very poseable. Those effects kind of cool. This is definitely one of my favorite releases here. Definitely, I will add that Revan to my Hot Toys collection, because in my opinion, it looks really nice. And Starkiller too. Those two are something that I'm going to add to my collection. Those characters, in my opinion, are some of the best in Star Wars. Very cool. I'm super glad that they releasing this one. It's something that, and they limited time. This is a limited time release. I can see for the exclusive. So if you want to get this exclusive limited release, this is the time to do it. This is the time to get it. Very nice piece for sure. Very nice figure. Very cool that Hot Toys is doing this stuff that they're doing right now. So it's amazing. All right, my friends. Definitely, it's 9 o'clock. So here where I'm at, of course, on the East Coast, we definitely cover a lot of figures right now. And I'm gonna take my first break of the night, but we're coming back, of course, as I always do. I come back, and I want to cover when I return. I want to say, Squad Captain, thank you for saying hello. Batman 2. Anyone else, please do not forget to leave a like, to comment here. Let me know that you're watching. But again, we're coming back to the statues. We're gonna get into a lot of companies. I'm gonna talk tonight. We're gonna talk about Oniri Creations. When I come back, that's the first thing probably I want to cover. The comeback, and of course we're gonna look at Iron Studios. We're gonna look at Hot Toys, Hot Toys Sideshow. We're gonna look at Prime One Studio, and so many other companies that are releasing stuff. Definitely, we're gonna look at the stuff tonight. So just bear with me. I'll be right back in just a moment.
Turn up the stereo, the sound is taking hold. Your loneliness will never be lost on me. So reach out and love, and don't be a stranger. They say every day's a new day. Live it like your last day. It's okay to feel great. Yeah, you're all jumping on a new wave. Time goes by, but I'll stay stuck up in my old ways. So hard to unlearn habits we've gotten addicted to. I'm trying to change my life, but so much easier to say than do. Oh, please help me. Please go easy on me. I can't believe it's so hard for me to see that I deserve this. Deserve to feel happy now. So please go easy. Please go easy on me. Go easy on me. Go easy on me. Easy on me. Don't give me a hard time, just let me live my life in peace. My life in peace. Been broken a long time, don't remember the highlights of me. Highlights of me. Oh, please help me. Please go easy on me. I can't believe it's so hard for me to see that I deserve this. Deserve to feel happy now. So please go easy. Please go easy. So hard to unlearn habits we've gotten addicted to. I'm trying to change
All right, guys, how you doing? I'm back here so we can keep talking, chatting about collectibles. I want to say thank you to everyone who's watching tonight. Things kind of quiet tonight. Maybe a lot of people are resting or whatever, or doing other things. It's actually a wonderful weekend, at least where I'm at. It's a beautiful weekend, so I'm sure people maybe go out with their family, spouses, if you're not working. But I want to say to all those who are taking time to say hello here on the chat, thank you very much for your support. It means a lot. All right, so now we're back. We're starting with statues. Definitely we have a long list. I'm not sure if I'm going to cover everything at this point, but we'll try. But now that we're making a comeback, the first thing I want to discuss, and we're coming here, I'm going to take you to Oniri Creations. This company, of course, went bankrupt just recently, and a lot of people are not necessarily happy about the whole thing. It was not the best way things went away. But they just released a new article here, as you can see, to communicate. Of course, this communicate to clients. This is in French, but also they released the same statement in English. So let's see if we can find it. Right there. This is the official statement. We're gonna kind of give you an idea. We're gonna read it. If you can read it, I'll read it for you. Anyway, it's too small on the screen. Dear clients and partners, we are pleased to announce that as part of the judicial liquidation procedure of Oniri Creations, the assets of the latter have been acquired by Tsuruka. To this end, it will establish a new company dedicated to this takeover. This new phase marks the beginning of a promising era that is still in the air. With renewed commitment to quality and client satisfaction. We understand the difficulties caused by the recent judicial liquidation of the company. I would say not necessarily the liquidation. The liquidation was just the reality. That was the outcome of the mismanagement of what the company did. It's not that people are upset because they filed bankruptcy. They're upset that they have to get that far. You know, that's when you get to bankruptcy, it's just because they has no choice. We have some difficulties caused by the additional liquidation of the company, affecting many individuals and professional clients who lost their pre-orders. We are determined to rectify the situation, which that's good. At least they're saying that they want to help. License contracts transfers. The creation of the new structure involves transferring license contracts, in this case from Oniri to Suroka, and the new company that's going to be built. We have already contacted the majority of the right holders and are reassured by their willingness to complete their projects so that all clients receive their orders. Okay. However, mandatory legal delays require the signing of these new contracts before any statute imports. Without these licenses, a container arriving in France could be seized and destroyed for copyright infringement. What it means is this, just to give you an idea for those who would like to know exactly what it means here. When a company signs a license or a contract for a license, is that company, is that entity. Well, Oniri Creations no longer exists as we know. The company has been technically terminated through the different laws and the procedure that go with when you you file bankruptcy. There's different type of bankruptcies. Of course, I'm not familiar with the bankruptcy laws in France. I am familiar with the bankruptcy laws in America because that's what I did for a living. I work for any credit, and I handle. I don't do that anymore, but I handle anything that has to do with claims with bankruptcy. So there's different type of bankruptcy types in America, or chapters as we call it. You had what called Chapter 7, which is technically what happened here. Chapter 7 is when a company fully, or an individual decides to simply liquidate everything. They say they are unable to pay. The company technically ceases to exist if it's done by a company. And everything has to be sold. All the assets has to be sold so you can pay the creditors and stuff like that. The court handles all of that. There's an appointee, in this case, a person that is going to take care of all those. Technically, they sell whatever the company has and sell it to everybody else. So that's what they file. However, there is different chapters. In America, we have 6 different type of bankruptcies. Where there is Chapter 7, Chapter 9, Chapter 11, 12, 13, and 15. In this case, some of them apply only for farmers, some apply for individuals when they're filing bankruptcy, some for companies if they want to restructure and still stay in business. Which is a lengthy process. Not everyone wants to go through it. For individuals, it's Chapter 13. For companies, it is, I think it's Chapter 11. And of course, there's one for legal, well, in this case for government agencies. I think it's Chapter 9. And then Chapter 15 is anything that has to do with the company that files bankruptcy, but it's affecting other countries because they have business in different countries. So they have to kind of deal with different laws and different things. So I'm not sure exactly which stand here for Oniri Creations. It appears that they are doing, they're based in France, but probably they were doing business with China. So it's a little more complicated because they have creditors not only there, but they have creditors in other parts of the world. Now, of course, this is not sure how the European Union works and how they do things business over there, but I'm sure that it's a more complicated fact where you have to involve, of course, the lawyers and do so many different things. So it appears that the assets of this company were, in this case, sold out, or they were able to find a buyer to decide to buy the assets and technically buy the debts and able to get everything started again. I'm not sure if they're paying some of those debts or they're just acquiring some of the assets there and they trying to reinitiate the conversations. However, again, what was going is that the license was paid by Oniri Creations. So the contract was done with Oniri Creations. Now, in order to get the license going with the other company that's going to be formed, that's what it says right here. Not Suroka, this company bought this license. I don't know who Suroka is. I don't know if they said that they're going to create a new entity that is going to handle all these things. They have to transfer that license. It's not simply simply transfer it. You have to create a new contract. And you have to go with, in this case, the licensors for them for their approval. They say, according to this, in their conversations, they are willing to give them the chance. But of course, a contract has to be made and has to be approved, and that takes time. So it's not like they can just simply come back. And because if they're products, they say products that are already on the wait list, maybe they need to get paid, the factors need to get paid in order to release. Once they release it, because they're released to Oniri Creations, they don't have the rights to sell, because Oniri Creations doesn't longer exist as an entity. They don't have a license anymore. The license technically was pending because they owe so much money to everybody. So yeah, it's still in the air. That doesn't mean that Oniri is coming back as we know it. It's going to be a different company with a different name, a different entity, but still there's a lot there in the air, so we don't know exactly what's going to happen. Now, they want to do that. They already talked to the factories. They have to go to the legal procedures to get it all done. So this is where they're at right now. Now, let's see this. Action plans for deliveries. Case 1, for clients who have fully paid their orders but not received them, we will endeavor to fulfill your orders at no additional cost. Which, that should be the case. They don't have to charge them. They already paid. We will contact you individually by email, which is great. How long that's going to take, who knows. Case 2, for clients reimbursed by Oniri or their bank, we reserve the items for you. That means that people that ultimately fought back to get their money back through their bank, or through every retailer they got reimbursed, they're going to give them the chance to reacquire the things that they order. We'll have the opportunity to reorder them as soon as they are available. I'm guessing that they will get email messages to say, hey, if you ordered this, we give you a chance to order it within this window of time. And, there's not going to be anything extra. You can order again. Not sure if a lot of people are going to go for it, though. Because if you did it to me once, if you do it, if I let you twice, a lot of people are reluctant to let go of the money. So that's going to be a hard sell, that one. Now, case 3, for clients reimbursed by their retailers, we reserve the items for you, and you will have the opportunity to reorder them through them as soon as they are available. Kind of the same case, but it's people that they did not buy directly, but they buy through other companies, through other people. But that requires for the other companies, for the retailers, actually to be open to the idea to sell the product. They already put money on it. So they already lost money on it, so they're also in the same boat. Case 4, for orders that cannot be produced due to lack of a license. That means that this goes back to the point that they still need to approve the licenses. They might not get all the licenses. We will offer a credit equal to the amount paid plus 15% of the purchase price to use on our future or current projects, which definitely is not the happy solution in the sense, because people say, well, so in other words, if you don't have the license because you lost it for not being professional about it, because you're not responsible with the monies, you lost it, so you took my money and now you cannot give me my money back, but you're going to give me credit to buy. So I know a lot of people are not going to be fully happy with this. Some people may, but a lot of people don't. So that's something that definitely you need to keep in mind. Now, for professional clients, that means the retailers, the companies, they provide the distributors. As each case is unique, we will get back to you about your deposits, but your deposits will not be lost. Again, a lot of, not only the people are losing here, it's also the retailers that already put money down and deposit for all those products that they're selling through their, through their stores. So yeah, this affects everyone, not only the individual there. Let's see what's next here. Now, the next one. Okay, so I think that's it. Oh, okay. Changes in business model. We will end the pre-order and prepayment system. Our production will be funded in advance by our studio, and sales will only occur when the statues are in stock in France. For our international professional clients, part of the stock will remain in Asia, and orders will be shipped from our local warehouses. Now, this is great news. Now, this is something that's very, very good. They know that the likelihood for people to pre-order after everything that happened, after the fiasco that they have gone through, is very unlikely that people are going to pre-order. It's going to be likely. But the model that they're following now is that they're going to pay up front before they get people to pre-order. They want to have the product. Once the product is ready to be sold, then they're going to sell it. Now, how sustainable that is very hard. Not many companies follow this model here. Not every company does. It's a very hard bargain and a tough promise to make, because in this market, you don't want to invest millions of dollars into a product that ultimately is going to sit and not sell. So yeah, I think it's more like wishful thinking that that's going to happen. But at least I would say, if you want to have a good impression at first, the first thing that you got to do is you got to do this. You have to not expect people to pre-order this stuff. Have the product, and they try to have that model you buy when you have it ready. Would that be a model that other companies will follow in the future? It's very hard to say so. We might see a lot of companies going that, because people are more reluctant nowadays to really buy things just like that. So yeah, it's kind of good. They're gonna have, of course, stock in France, which is where the company sits, but also they're gonna have stock remaining in Asia, and that is for the professional clients, which means for the retailers, they're gonna ship directly, not from France, which adds more cost because it has to be from Asia, from China to France, and then from France to the different retailers around the world. Of course, that all of that adds to the cost of the product. So they're gonna ship directly from the factories, it makes sense when you're dealing with retailers. Now, regarding former leaders, we have spent a lot of time with them since the acquisition and have listened to their desire to ensure the project's continuity. Contrary to rumors, none have left France on their responsibilities. Our respective lawyers have strongly advised them not to speak publicly, which is why they remain out of the communications. Now, this is kind of bogus in some way because we don't know who is actually talking here. It's Oniri Creations, or is the new company that is actually making this statement? Have they taken over now the social media because they're making that statement, perhaps? Well, it says Suroka team at the bottom, so it seems that the Suroka team has taken over. But who is the Suroka team? I never heard of Suroka, so I'm not sure if this is a company or the same people, because ultimately these companies are entities. That's the reason why when they build these companies, it's not necessarily a person, it's an entity itself. LLC or something like that, and it might be that there's the same people kind of saying, oh, they're no longer here, but we are the new team. It might be that there's a lot of things here that are on the gray area that it needs a little more information and transparency, because it seems to me that there were a lot of different situations that happened, that perhaps there's also some lawsuits that happened to some individuals there for mismanagement of things, if they're different, whether it's from third parties. I remember when this happened, when they went into the whole thing, there was a lot of talks about, the legal repercussions. They're talking about, there were a couple lawsuits. So I'm sure that there are some people in hot waters, and they say that they have not left France. So that means that people haven't been seen. Perhaps they're hiding somewhere. Who knows? And they say they're not running away from their responsibilities. And the lawyers, that means that they have lawyers representing them. So it's a legal battle going on somewhere in France that I don't know much about, but definitely it's juicy information here. There's something going on there. Now, the commitment and transparency, we're gonna read this. We will soon organize a YouTube live with a recognized community influencer. Who knows, they can use any of the big ones for sure. Not sure if it's gonna be one in France or one internationally, which in this case is mostly in America. It could be anyone. It could be Rat Titan. It could be Statue, anybody that they feel comfortable with. Anybody that has some pull, and how it is sometimes here. They're definitely not gonna call me. They're not gonna call me because I'm a small fish in a big pond. But definitely someone there. I not necessarily find that intriguing or interesting. Sometimes influencers are there, but not necessarily is the best way to approach. I would say if they are direct to things and they have other people, but they should only have one influencer. They should have multiple influencers. That means they need to offer interviews to a lot of different people. So it's a more broad message to everyone. Now, we are committed to rebuilding trust and maintaining the excellence of Oniri Creations. We count on your support and patience during this transition period. We will return very soon with more information, and the establishment of a dedicated email will also be communicated. All right, so this is what happened here. There's still a lot of unknowns. Oniri was doing amazing stuff, at least the projects that they have going. Of course, there's a lot of people that heard about the situation, artists that work there. There was so much hope for this company. Is that going to be the case? There's a lot of unknowns. They released some good pieces, of course, but they left a lot of projects in the air. Only time can tell, to be honest with you. And I know a lot of people are completely dissatisfied with this situation, but I will simply say, let's just keep waiting, see what happens. Hopefully there's a good outcome here, but it's in the air at the moment. It's in the air. We'll see more when the time comes. So yeah, it's one of those things that is hard to digest, but that's the information that we have so far. We'll see how that goes and what they do with Oniri. But you still a lot of things, but at least we have some idea that some of these projects, at least some of these projects that they already had, that they were on pre-order and they were canceled because of all of this, there's the hope that they will return, whether it's under Oniri Creations name or this new company that they're going to create. Hopefully they can finalize this and just get it done at the end of the day, just to please the people who were highly, they were anticipating this, they were hoping for this, and they already invested some money on it. So we'll see what happens. All right, my friends, let's go back to Sideshow. We spent a good amount of time talking about this one, and let's talk about this, the stuff that has been released, the figures. And I want to start actually with the small figurines. I want to go with Dark Horse. I didn't want to talk about it, but let's say, why not? Let's just talk about it. Dark Horse, the Fallout figurines. Of course, the Fallout TV show seems to be popular. I haven't watched it. I gotta be honest with you. I have not watched Fallout. I'm intrigued by it. I have played the video games. I'm not a big Fallout fan. Sorry. But I you know, play the video games. I have all the games, and you know, and on Xbox 360, on the PC. And now they have the new versions, and all. Like I have a lot of those on the PS4. So I do have the games. I don't really invest much time on them though. But here you have these figurines. Of course, these are normally the figurines are within the 1/10 scale. They're small figurines that produce. They are produced by Dark Horse Comics. They're made out of PVC, so they're inexpensive. Lucy, I would say Lucy looks fine. As a PVC piece, it looks okay. Maybe on the cheapy side, but they were with this more of an action pose. It looks kind of cool. I'm not gonna deny it. Look at that bug. It has. I do like what I like about these small figurines. I will tell you, it's the is that the bases that they chose for this. They do look premium, and that's what I would say about Dark Horse. Even on when they keep things on the cheap side, Dark Horse knows how to, you know, make it look more premium than what truly is. And the interesting thing is about Dark Horse is one of the original companies that actually was selling collectibles back in the day, and they still do. They're not as big as other companies, but they still do. But they keep it in a way that is more affordable for anyone. So they're really more considerate about the fans in that way. But here you have Ghost. This, of course, I've seen the trailers, so I know there's the actor. I think this is perhaps the best one so far. I think it looks really nice. The detail there in this figurine looks good. It could be between 110. It could even be bigger than 110. It could even be a 1.8, 1.9. Could be, looks a little bigger. But I did not see the detail on the dimensions and stuff. This is definitely perhaps the best looking one. Let's see if there's any detail on scale. Well, it's set at 8 inches tall with a 5 inches wide. So yeah, it's not tiny. It's within the 110. And I think it's just the base itself that makes it look taller than what it is. But yeah, it's definitely within the 110. And the prices again are really nice. Now Maximus, here you got. This is a very cool one too. So yeah, I think that if you want to have them all, now the portrait's all right with the alternate head, not necessarily the best one, but I do like the base on this one, and there's weathering and detail in the armor, and the base again. It's another thing that they're doing, and they're doing really nice. Yeah, it kind of looks more than 110, to be honest with you. Very cool looking. Yeah, that might even be a 1.7. But this is, you know, for the prices, I think there's not bad. Very cool to see what Dark Horse is doing there. Very cool. Now, let me take you to, as we know, Inside Out just happened. The Iron Studios Inside Day for April just happened. So let me take you to, let's look for Iron Studios. Iron Studios just released Inside Day. I think they're here. They might not be here. So, oh yeah, they have some different pieces. The Inside Day just happened this week, yesterday. So we have these new releases, these new statues that they have. There's not enough pictures per se. Let me see if we find it. I think they're not a Sideshow, which was surprising. I don't know if there's a delay with Sideshow. They're not gonna be as they did before. They were just straight the same day they were on sale. I'm not sure if there's something there on that. But if I go, I think I saw them at Big Bad Toy Store. Here you got it. Here are the different releases that happened. All the different pre-orders here at Big Bad Toy Store. Let's see if they have the nice pictures. All right, so they have first on this, they have this I Want to Believe Alien. This is a grade 110 art scale limited edition. It's $99. These are the pictures. So yeah, they have all the pictures, which is cool. This is a very interesting one. Something that I would not get, but it's kind of cool to see Iron Studios kind of what they're doing. They're releasing all these different things all the time. That is, to me, it's really interesting. That is great. So it's 8.2 inches in height. So yeah, that is really, really cool. But they also have this Jurassic Park icons, T-Rex attack statue. This is a very cool one, $119. I think this is a lot larger than 110. This might be within the 120th or something. This is not a 110. So it's kind of cool. Yeah, for that price, is definitely on the smaller side. It's not actually, no, look at that. You know, it does have height. It's 5'7" inches in height. But yeah, when you compare the size of that and the figure is definitely on the very small, more than 120. It's probably even more than that, 135 or something like that. It's kind of cool though. It's kind of nice that they're doing something like this. I think it's a great price. If you're a Jurassic Park fan and you want something so big, they might as well just go for that. Now they also have, for the DC collection, of course, we have this. We have the Plastic Man, which is a character that has always been very, you know, you know, it's pretty much for joke purposes, comedic element, comedic relief. Plastic Man, kind of cool. Very, very kind of cool. Very different, very unique. Interesting concept. This is the thing about Iron Studios, that they really, what I would say about Iron Studios is this Brazilian company is that they have fun with it. You know, they do seem to have fun with what they do, and that, to me, that's great. Another of, and the DC stuff they have, for example, they got the Gothams here, and I think this is one that perhaps a lot of people are going to be more excited for. I think it's a really nice depiction of the Poison Ivy. It's very different. It has a little bit of that cool old factor. Very nice paint job. I think they did a really nice job with her dress. It looks more classy, more vintage, and I know some people like the vintage look, and it seems to me that that's what they're trying to achieve with this one. Very nice. The base looks really cool. Nice detail there, texture, very nice base, and the whole form of the figure looks really fantastic. Poison Ivy looks great here. Very nice. This is probably one of the beautiful pieces, the most beautiful pieces they released this week. Another DC piece that they released this week, and the presentation we have right here, the Green Lantern, 1/10 scale. That is very interesting concept. Let me look at some of the details there. It says with Chip right there, and he has those planes in the background, 9 inches tall. The jets in the background is a very different touch. I saw it. I'm not necessarily like a big fan of it, because I don't really, you know, like most people, necessarily I'm a big fan of Force perspective. So having those jets in the back, it's fine. I understand what they do. I like Chip right there. That is pretty cool. They have the more modern, not necessarily a fan of the texturing on the pants. I like the more streamlined, not as much detail or texture thing in the pants. I can see the city in the background, the green. It's different. It's very different, very interesting concept as a unique standalone piece. You know, it works. Some people, you know, with the clear resin in the back, but not necessarily like all this kid's all the texture in his outfit, like all these things, the gauntlets and stuff. It's a little more modern per se. It could go simpler, and I would think it would be perfect if you get rid of all these extra things. You know, he would look the part, in my opinion, best like that than that. That's my only the only thing that I will be dislike the most. The planes, I'm okay with that. It's just the gauntlets and all this extra things in his outfit. It looks out of place. Maybe they're trying to modernize it. Just like this, like you see Chip, he has like a classic outfit, just classic leotards or whatever. And that is just perfect, you know. Like, to me, that should be the case. If you're gonna go simple with him, why is it that you go complicated with him and Chip goes simple? You know, just because you add him up, you know, you can keep both simple with a more classic outfit, and it will look fantastic, in my opinion. But yeah, it's still good, you know. It's still I think the skull, the portrait is good. Chip looks great, and I like the concept. It's just I feel that the over texturing things, or adding a lot of extra detail on top of detail, it just takes away some of that beauty of the figure. I think classic is better, but of course that's just my opinion. $249 to $50, not necessarily the cheapest, but it's cool. All right, so now we're moving on to the next collection thing. We are going to look at Indiana Jones. They have actually two different versions, the Deluxe, and they got the limited edition, which is the classic. Now let's look at the limited edition here. $349. That's expensive because of that. Some people would say that the likeness, it's all right. The difference, of course, is the base. Look, this base. Some people may like all this extra detail. Again, we're looking at the force detail, the force perspective. Not necessarily something that people like. Interesting. At least it makes it taller, because I just recently received the Superman versus Doomsday diorama, the statue. I opened it last night. I display it downstairs. When I'll get the chance to review it soon enough. I'll work on that. I gotta work on that. But my only concern about the statue, and I will mention it, I feel that it's because the base is kind of small to the ground. It feels that it takes away some of that how majestic the piece is when you look at it, because it's so flat, and of course it's a 110 in comparison to anything else. I wish it was taller. I wish it had like a stand where it's, you know, you can see it higher. Even as a 110 will be better. It will be able to see things better. And I think with this deluxe versions here, like for example this one, yes, the force detail might be bad, but at least it makes the piece taller, and because it's taller, it's more impressive, and there's a lot more detail to look at. It's better to look at. It appears better. So I think that is the reason why I like to have the little stand. Something like, for example, what Bowen Designs did back in the day. Bowen Designs, they always give you the extra stand for some of the statues. You get like the little, not only that, your regular stand, but you get pretty much the riser. A riser would be great, because now I think that I need to get a riser for that, but because of how the size is and how cumbersome it is, I'm not sure what kind of riser can I find. I have to kind of search to find a riser that actually make it look better, or at least, you know, allow me to have a higher view of it, and it's in a high position too. So I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll have to work with it, and I'll have pictures on my Instagram soon enough. Maybe this weekend I'll take some pictures. But yeah, it looks great. Again, you can go for this, or you can go for the regular version, which is $159, and it's the same piece, but the base, of course, is reduced. And to be honest with you, you know, this goes if you only want something, you don't want to break the bank, and you want something that fits and like that, you know, you can do it. But I will tell you this, yeah, the force perspective, you know, the higher the riser, the bigger, the taller base, actually it's not that bad. It depends on your display too, you know, and what are you trying to build with your collection. And if you want everything to be within the same height, then why not? Then you keep it like that. It's up to you. It's just a matter of, you know, if you have it as a standalone piece or what, or you want to have it, you know, by itself, you want to have it with other pieces. So that is the case. Now we also have, not going into the other franchises that they showcase, let me show you the Lord of the Rings. They got the Lords, the Uruk-hai leader. This is actually pretty cool. So they still building this collection, which is great. I think it's a pretty good choice. Nice detail, and I like that base. The detail on that base is really awesome. Of that battle. Very, very cool. Very nice detail for sure. I think, like, you know, Prime 1 is doing the big stuff right now with them. I think Prime 1 is the king right now, with us in the middle. But I would say Iron Studios on the 110 is definitely doing fantastic. And I think the height is nice. It's really nice. I think they did a really nice job. This collection keeps growing, and they're doing really amazing little pieces there. So kudos to them for doing such a thing. Now, the Infinity Gauntlet, the battle dioramas, the next thing that they're doing. And it's growing, you know, very nicely with all these pieces that they're building. They have the Nova. This is the regular version. I would say Nova looks great. again, it suffers from the same thing about extra things here and there, make it more, you know, like more, I don't know, tactical in some way. But I would say that this one looks good. I do like the choice of Nova. I definitely feel that the Nova Corps didn't get enough respect on the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, because of course, if you read the comic book, then you know that they're a big part of the whole story in connection with the Guardians of the Galaxy. So I felt that they did not get as much of the spotlight. Hopefully that is addressed soon through everything that they're doing, that we can see a more impact with the with the Nova Corps. And I like it. You can see with this base, taller, and I think it's the perfect choice because he's always flying in space or whatever. So I think that is the way you want to present them, in that flying mode. So that is really cool. This is $179 for that one. Now there is another version, which is in this case the deluxe version. Technically the same with some changes, and I try to figure out what are the changes here, because to me it seems like very the same, unless, oh, okay. Now this is a lot taller. Like the base is the same base, but they added like an inch or 2 inches more. I gotta be honest with you, with this one, now talking about taller bases, it's fine. You might not need this extra one unless they need to have it taller, because of course it's gonna be different levels where they're gonna add all these different pieces together, and the other one gonna be too low, so they want to have Nova higher so they can fit the other pieces. They all fit if you're building the deluxe diorama, not just the regular diorama with the pieces separate. So I would say, yeah, perhaps that is the case. I would say you go for the deluxe if you're building the deluxe diorama. If you're only picking pieces here and there from this collection, then just go for the regular. You know, you don't need the extra 8 inch or 2 inches, so 1.5 inches, just to kind of give you, a boost on the height. That's all. But it's kind of cool. I think it's the same Nova. It's the same thing. Again, it's just that extra, that it actually feels kind of weird also, that it's kind of, I feel that it should be wider, because I don't know, it's kind of scary to have him like that. I feel like it's gonna topple down in one way. You push him a little, and a little accident can happen. So I feel that choice of have it very very thin at the bottom, I think that's not the right way to do it. You want to have more stability at the bottom so it stays put well. So I don't know, maybe that needed an adjustment. That is something that I definitely don't feel comfortable there. So again, this is Iron Studio. This is what Iron Studios released this week. Interesting to see this company doing what they're doing. They keep producing stuff, which is really great. All right, my friends, I'm going back to Sideshow because it's time to look at Kotobukiya. And I want to look at Kotobukiya. The first thing I want to look at is this here, Darth Vader, Return of Anakin Skywalker. This is part of the Artifacts Plus, so it's a 110 scale statue, PVC statue. It's cool because Darth Vader is always cool. Darth Vader, no matter what, is always going to be a character that people are going to love. And this one has an interchangeable portrait, an alternate head, which is looks very good. 7.6 inches tall. Very interesting. There's no base. This Artifacts Plus doesn't have bases, so you keep building this collection. And it has interchangeable even arms. Look at that. That's another thing that the Plus has, that ability to interchange parts. I like this one with the arm extended. I think that is my favorite thing. And you can lower the arm. It has a lot of different things. It's not a big figurine, but I think it's just really nice with all the nice right details there. With all the parts, only $100. I think it's a fair price for what you're getting here. It's cool. Definitely this ARTFX-J, Artifacts Plus, I'm sorry. It's really nice. And again, $100 at Sideshow. I'm sure you can find it some places. I'll probably even cheaper. And now looking at the stuff that Kotobukiya has been doing, let me take you to the newest collection that they are released, which is here, the Kaiju number 8. These are the new things that they've been releasing. This is an anime manga that is very popular. It's gaining a lot of momentum in Japan. We'll even see that there is collectibles coming very soon for Prime One Studio. They announced it there too, so they're coming with a full force. But they released the already in this case the ARTFX-J. That's the other collection, which is mostly a 1/8 collection from Kotobukiya PVC stuff. They are really releasing some of those characters. They got Kaiju number 8 right here. As you can see, I'm really not really as familiar with this anime. I haven't watched it yet, but I did watch it, of course, at the the stuff that they are announcing with Prime One Studio. It kind of piqued my interest there, and definitely gonna have to look more information, try to watch it and see exactly what is the fuss about. Definitely looks very good. It reminds me a lot of that the model that the Prime One had. So yeah, it has a lot of similarities for sure. So I gotta pay attention to this series for sure. And there's so many that I haven't really kept, but there's other characters which I don't know exactly what is the intent in this story, what kind of characters they are, but also they are part of this collection, which is kind of cool. Nice detail there, and they all have the same type of base, so they all fit within the same model concept. I think that's something that Kotobukiya does well when they kind of try to build collections where all the bases kind of combine or lock with each other. So they're really good at that. Nice detail. Nice paint job. Again, this is a PVC statue here. Okay, you can see how it combines with Kaiju. Interesting. Now, the most recent one they released is this one, Reno Ichikawa. Another character in the collection. I like it that he's holding that rifle. I like the tactical aspect of this collection. I like anything that has this is the thing. I'm kind of, peculiar in some things. I don't like tactical suits for superheroes as much because I like superheroes, the classic image of superheroes. When it comes about anything that has to do with anime, modern, utopia or like cyberpunk things, I like more tactical stuff in some way. The future, after a world that has been destroyed by war, things like that. I like tactical suits and characters in tactical suits. So it just, I don't know, it's just two different things that I like. I do like the tactical aspects of things. If you know me, you follow me in my gaming channel, you know that I like first-person shooters. I'm into tactical shooters. So yeah, it's just, I don't know, it looks kind of cool. This is an interesting collection, $120. Again, this is a 1/8 collection, and we'll see how it goes and how they continue with this one. Now, let me take you to another one. I'm gonna go to a Spec Fiction because it's another 1/8 statue, another statue that is based on and pretty much in manga now, and this from Kitsune statue. If you're a fan of Berserk, the Guts Berserker PVC 1/8. They use a very iconic pose, I would say, that's used a lot for Guts. This is the Kitsune side of the French company. Very cool. What they do with this statue, you look at the base. There's a statue that is coming from Prime One Studio. We saw that. I like the sword, man. Look at that, very nice and shiny. And it's gonna have the same pose too. It's gonna be a diorama. So we're gonna look at that, but yeah, it's kind of cool. Those big eyes. Again, this is PVC. That gives you an idea. I think the profile, the height is fine. You're looking for something not super big. Again, it's very cool. I don't see interchangeable parts, so it's gonna be just like that. So I think we're going in circles now, but yeah, you can come here. $209. There's no edition size yet, or hasn't been disclosed. You can find it in other places. I'm sure that you might even find it at Big Bad Toy Store. I didn't see it at Sideshow, but I'm sure that eventually it might be there, or it's already there sometime in some place. It was released before. So yeah, that's kind of cool. And again, this is from Kitsune statue. Another piece that was released, and I find this at Sideshow. This is from a company that is doing it, I would say the first time. The first statue that have the figurine that they're releasing, I never seen this company. This is the first time, so that's the reason why I like to kind of bring it up, because it's something new. And I like to give that to new companies. This one, Frieren, I think that's what she's called. We have seen other statues from her. This is from a company called Claynel. I'm not sure exactly where they're from, if they're Chinese or anything. This Frieren Beyond Journeys, and this is a manga series. I think they might be an animated series also. It's a 1/7 scale statue. It's a simple figurine. What I like about the figurine, I think it's a very clean pose. It's not too overly dramatic. Sometimes some of these figurines, they come with, like, the bases have so much stuff that it feels like out of place. I'm not necessarily a big fan of those big ones. But this one, as you can see, with the base is simple. The pose is simple. She has a very kind of pretty face, calm expression on the walk. It feels like they were able to capture the, like, her hair flowing, like she's kind of this breeze air that is hitting her while she's walking, make her look more pretty for sure. I think it's a very nice concept. The artists of this, or the artists involved here, they did a fantastic job in bringing that beauty of this character to life in a simple manner, in a simple way, not complicated. Very nice base. Yeah, definitely, like you see in this picture, which she's walking on this path, which is kind of cool, by the way. She's just, you know, the breeze in her face, you know, her hair is flowing. It has a nice flow. So it's a very cool looking figurine for sure. $180. Some people would say it's pricey, but it's a very nice detail. Here's another Frieren statue that we have seen in the past. This is $180. This was from Kotobukiya. Just to give you a comparison, they're within the same scale. I think there's both 1/7. Yeah, they're both 1/7. This is the Kotobukiya, and I like the flowers, and definitely she has a very more, also the same seriousness. A very cool depiction as well. Very nice. You know, Kotobukiya knows how to present these figures in a nice way. But if I have to make a choice, if, let's say, if I have the money just for one, and I'm not collecting this, you know, I'm not, so it doesn't bother me. I like the base. Actually, I do like the base with those flowers very nicely. If it has nice color, I trust Kotobukiya. I know the quality is going to be good. It's $180, but if I have $180 to choose one statue, I would say that this one wins for me just because it seems simpler. And it has a nice wall. People say, well, I get both. And I don't know this company much, but I'll give it a chance and see how it is. I don't know. It's just, the walk is simple, but it's well executed. I think in that case, it feels, I don't know, it feels more natural to me. So yeah, definitely this is one that you should, you should keep an eye on and see how that works for them. All right, so the next piece that I want to go, and it's another one based on some art, and this is definitely what is, this is made out of, this is not PVC, this is polystone. This is the reason why the price is $510. This is also within the 1/7 scale. This is like another company, Chinese company that I do not know. It's just in Mabell Animation Development. They developed this based on the art inspired on the other Ryota H. I think, I'm not sure who Ryota H is. It's an artist that does different art, I suppose, online. This is, as soon as I saw it, it struck me because it's very different. It's just, again, it's not based on an anime or anything. It's just an art that was done. An artist just painted this. The Mad Hatter with a girl and a sexy look. And I think he managed to do it really well. It looks really nice. The base is the only thing perhaps that is not as great. It's just simple base, very flat. It looks more like PVC. But again, this is a resin statue, as far as I know. If you go to details, we're gonna look at the pictures here. It looks really nice. There's a lot of different things happening here. Some things might be PVC elements, or it might be all PVC, but I saw that it was resin. Very cool, very sexy looking one. Interesting. You know, this is one that definitely, with the price point, I would say not necessarily convinced to pay $500 for 1/7 scale. But because it's a very unique piece, I don't know if they have many, they're releasing many, so it's more like an artist type of thing. It's more of a designer thing, and normally those type of pieces, designer pieces, you know, just unique, they gather more pricing, you know, they're more expensive. But to be honest with you, this will be more like $300 in my opinion. They should be $300. Still nice piece, but it's not that big. It's not a 1/6 scale. It's still a 1/7 scale. Yeah, it's made out of polystone, which is interesting, that weight. But $500, I don't think so. I would, again, go more for maybe $350, $300, $350. Maybe that's it. $400 is pushing it, and I think $500 is just way too far. But I know some people will love the art. They love the artist. Perhaps they're familiar with the art and they're willing to do it. This is definitely for a young crowd. It's a very interesting, cool. It's a cool concept. It is a cool concept. It's just expensive, and they're asking for a lot, in my opinion. There. All right, so that's it. So now let me take you back to you know, we're going to try to go fast here. We're gonna go to another 1/7 piece, but this is the release this week from Figurama. This is the Ancient Magus Bride Chais and Elias Elite Figure Mix. That's what they call it. It's a mouthful. I'm not familiar with this anime or this manga, but $799, $800. Very interesting concept with this. It does have a light up feature. Again, the price for this one is $799. I think it's still a good price, and with the light up feature and everything. This is also 1/7 scale. Now, this is the thing with the prices now. $799 is $800 for the 1/7 is one thing that is a tough sale. But I know Figurama makes amazing depictions, and there's a lot of detail on this piece for sure, as you can see, and it looks really cool. The detail is there. Definitely, this is for the fans who know this, which I'm not one of them. So, and it has interchangeable, as you can see, portraits. You got different hands and gloves and bracelet hand, dragon curse hand, glove hand, which I guess is part of it. LED, part of the story, which I'm familiar with. LED illuminated crystals and glow in the dark vines. Oh, the dark vines also glow. That is very, very cool. I need to find out more about this thing. Look at this wolf. Look at this ugly little fairy. A lot of detail, man. That creature looks like a frog. Definitely, there's a lot of great detail there. Figurama does amazing work. They definitely do. And this company, they love to do the anime stuff, and they do great. So definitely interesting. I'm not sure what Figurama has in store for us. It appears that they're, as a company, they have a lot of different projects, things happening, and we'll see. I don't know this year what is it that they have in store. We have to wait and see more in the summer and see what else they have. They've been kind of quiet lately, but I think it's because they're working backstage and doing a lot of different things. As far as I've seen on social media, I follow them too on Instagram, so follow them there to kind of keep up with the stuff that Figurama is doing. Now, there's another piece that was released, and okay, I'm trying to figure out where am I. Okay, here is Spec Fiction. And this is a set that looks, in my opinion, really, really nice. Looking at the stuff that they release, is this set, as you can see, there's 3 pieces. This is one piece. Now, this is a collaboration between 2 studios. You got Limit Studios, I think that's what it's called, and also Penguin Toys. Well, I know Penguin Toys, I never heard of Limit Studios. But they did this Versus set. You can buy this as a set, or you can buy it separately. It's expensive for sure. As you can see, this is a 1/6 scale collection here. It's $1,600 for this. Here, Limit Studio and Penguin Toys. And this, of course, let me remember the characters. You got Marshall, D, Teach, and Porges. Marshall and Porges fighting here. It's a thing. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on, and I would say, like I said it many times before, when the statues are too busy, I'm not necessarily a big fan. Yes, they are. There's the power. You know, you can see all this, the fire, of course, from Porges there. Marshall looks a bit on the darker, a little too dark, maybe there. Maybe it's just the picture. It's an interesting take. I've seen better statues of Marshall though. But this is not a bad one for sure. And there's a lot of detail. And both. And the light of features, definitely that's where everything is at. I just wish sometimes they didn't go too crazy with all this explosion things and everything, which makes the statue itself of the figure character look too small. And it's becoming a trend. And particularly, it's a big trend with a lot of these anime statues. You know, just because you can make it bigger doesn't mean that you have to. And that's my point. You know, like, just because you can doesn't mean that you should. And it seems to me that a lot of times companies, they go the extra mile to make things too big, but unnecessarily so. And I feel that I like it when less is more. I feel that companies that do less, sometimes you can achieve the same, the same, all, you know, the same spectacle, you know, from the looker, from the fan, from the people looking at it, and still find it amusing. You know, just because it's bigger, just because you see so much stuff going on, there's so much distraction in your eyes, you're missing the point. I think the only thing that stands out the more, of course, you can see the characters, but definitely it's hard to see some of the, in this case with Porga's expression in his face, because everything is overpowered by everything. Although I think Marshall was managed better, and I think it's because of the power. It's black in the back, so it gives more contrast, so you're able to see in more than you can do with Porgas. But you know, they're meant to work together as a team, as a diorama. You know, so this is the set. If you want to, you can buy them separately. There's no difference if you buy them separately. Like, you know, you're not getting anything less. You're still gonna get the same piece. So Marshall costs like $850, so it's $860. It'd be, you save a couple bucks here and there if you buy them just as a set, but you can certainly buy them separately if you only want to display one character like that. But you know they're meant to be together, so I think that that's the point. And when you're making it so big like that, they might as well just build a whole diorama, just keep them together, and that's how it works. That's how it works best. So yeah, let's just keep that in mind. So that is very, very cool. All right, so that was this company. Now let me take you here. Actually, we're here and we can do this one. Weta this week release. If you come to Weta, and I can come here, but I can go to Weta Workshop. They released that last week. I wasn't here, so now we're looking into 1/6 scale. There's a couple of things that Weta has done. You can see the stuff they did. That Lieutenant Titus, I think this was already showcased before, but here it's already sold out. Dang it, the limited edition of this one was sold out. So let me see one thing here. First of all, let me check something here. What is that? You know, this one thing about Weta, it's kind of going quiet with some of the stuff they have. All right, so we're doing this. The stuff that Weta's been doing on the new features. Man, some of the stuff Weta's doing is just amazing. But let's just start with this one. I think we talked about the Witch King on the Sin Lands last time, but I'm gonna look at it here. This is the King Theodon and the Snowman Lip. This is the limited edition. It's like $1,000. I do like it. This is not gonna be small. You know, that base is well done as well. It's very classic looking base. I like how they actually did this on the back instead of just make it stony. They kind of raise it up a little bit. I like that. I like that the base is kind of like that. It's really very cool. Very simplistic, definitely for the Weta fan, for the Lord of the Rings fan. They want to have it all. This is one that looks great. Fully sculpted. That's nice. Very nice detail in his portrait. It looks very realistic when you look at it. Very nice job with his portrait. Looks great. Great detail in the eyes. Very good detail on the shield. The horse looks fantastic. Even the mane and the horse looks great. The paint job is excellent in this prototype. Look at this, he's holding it, and definitely that you can see that he's exerting some strength, you know, exerting some, you know, force there. Like, you have to hold it. He's actually, you can even see his veins. It's a heavy piece, a heavy model. Very nice. And if I can see here, maybe we can look at it. Maybe we can see, I like that Lieutenant Titus. Maybe we can look at it in a moment too. Why not? Trying to get this stuff there. I want to kind of give you an idea of the person or the artist involved here. Maybe we can see it. right there. It's sculpted by Mauro Santini. Mauro Santini has done a lot of different things for them. I love the work he does with Lord of the Rings, but he has done other things. We have talked about Mauro before. He is, if I'm not mistaken, he's a digital sculptor, but also knows traditional stuff. He's been doing a lot of stuff. It primarily started with the mini epics, but now he's definitely getting into more of the he did the Superman black suit, a lot of digital stuff. But yeah, he also did the Nightmare Batman and all. So he's definitely one artist that it's growing in popularity. I think he's been doing amazing work. Very involved with the epics, but as you can see, but he's also very good at doing like portraits and doing some of those, like more classic stuff. And definitely kudos to Santini for doing amazing work. Now I'm still intrigued by this one, so we're gonna look at Lieutenant Titus. I think this is an old one. This is one, it came out some time ago, but I never really got the chance to talk about it. So why not? While I'm here, it's a 1/6 scale piece. If you are into, into this, definitely this franchise, that you're going to love it. Trying to find the pictures. Warhammer, definitely there. Very cool, man. Yeah, this came out long enough, but every time I see it, I'm impressed by it. And I'm not a Warhammer fan, but definitely this is, in my opinion, one of the best Warhammer statues we have ever seen. They did a fantastic job in bringing it to life. The detail there is just amazing, for sure. It's a gory scene. This is more in line with what you see what Prime 1 would do, but Weta doing it is also really, really cool. Very nice detail for this piece. It's not cheap at all, but man, this is the ultimate, in my opinion, Warhammer. Unless Prime 1 does something, which they have done, and I think there's something, but I think this is for 1/6 scale collectors. This is just the perfect representation, the perfect collectible for 1/6 scale collectors of Warhammer. So yeah, that is very cool. So this is what we see from Weta. Definitely looking really cool, and the stuff they're doing there. All right. Oh wow, we've been having a fantastic time. It is 10 o'clock. I'm gonna take another break because I'm gonna come back. We have more to talk about now. I'm gonna come back to the bigger stuff, the main hitters. I could do also this 1/6, but we're gonna talk on that moment. We going back to Sideshow, Sume. I got all the companies to talk about, PCS, Prime 1, all that. So just bear with me. As I make a comeback, as I come back and do take a break. Again, I want to say thank you to everybody that is watching. Definitely, there's not been much conversation today. People are busy doing other things. But when I come back, we will continue this. We'll continue with this show. I appreciate those who are watching this, not only now, but also in the future. A lot of people watch this video on the following day. And when we get this timestamps and all. So I'll be right back. So thank you.
What what you think when you push me out of my own head where everything makes sense. Breathing in the lies that keep me open from the truth that keeps me holding on to your lies. What do you think you'll find me when you destroy what is inside me? I'll carry on. Say it's over when nothing's closer to what you're fighting for. The chapter where I'm ripping out my pages. Stop the fire under my skin. Oh, light the blaze again that stood alive for ages. Breathing in the lies that keep me open from the truth that keeps me holding on. To your lies, where do you think you'll find me when you destroy what is inside me? I'll carry on. I'll carry on. I'll carry on. I'll carry on.
All right, we are back here. I want to say thank you everyone that is watching this, supporting the channel. We come into the last win of this video, being able to talk about things. I want to say to everyone, thank you very much for those who are watching this. It's been so quiet. It's been so quiet. And I'm looking at why is everybody's quiet? Maybe everybody's watching Evo or something. Right now I see that Evo has there's stuff going on with Evo. I think Call of Duty also, there's some tournament, people watching live. So maybe, I don't know, maybe just people just want to do other things. But I want to say anyway, thank you very much for being here. So we are here back, going through the list. I want to take you now. We're going to start with one of our big hitters of the night, which in this case, that would be Sideshow collectibles. So let me go here to Sideshow. And we're going to go the big hitters that we have on the night tonight. The biggest release, I guess, from Sideshow this week, which is this 1/5 scale diorama statue maquette. I'm not sure exactly how they labeled this, Rogue and Gambit. This is this kind of the love of the couple series that they have done in the past, primarily with other things that romantic Marvel collectibles, they call it. It's a very cool concept, to be honest with you. I'm not sure exactly who the artist is or where the inspiration is, but it does remind me of some of the art of J. Scott Campbell in some way. Sorta, the face, the portrait. I'm a big fan of J. Scott Campbell, so I know his art, and I've seen so many of his covers, and I do have a lot of his books, art books. But here, the sculptor is Maria Panfilova. She's amazing. She does amazing work. Ian McDonald, he's a designer. Kat Sapine is a painter. The Sideshow design developed team is involved in this process. I think they did a really nice job with this one. It looks good. It's very unique. Definitely, it's not for the quarter scale collector. If you really want a Rogue and a Gambit, then you go for the quarter scale offerings that they have. I'm not sure they still have any. They may have, or you have to go someplace else. I'm sure there's plenty out there. But I think as a concept, of course, right now with the X-Men 97, people loving the show, it got kind of dark. The last episode has been a bit darker. Of course, Gambit just died, which is I was like, oh my god, that the episode started kind of slow for me. I was like, okay, whatever. Didn't really like it. It felt a little bit off. But then the action scenes, the second part of the episode, the battle, and then the death of Gambit, that went from 0 to 60 in no time. That was like different. Man, Gambit was like I have more admiration and respect for Gambit's powers, I could say. But here you can see, very nice concept. Now the mouth is kind of weird, like he has big teeth or something, Gambit. That's the only thing that I will point out, that he still looks kind of funny. But it's a nice job, the paint job, and definitely the face. And yeah, I do have a little bit of J. Scott Campbell in the portrait when you look at the portrait of Rogue, but not necessarily so. I think there's other artists also there, inspiration from many artists too, that they do a lot of cover work. Modern, they're contemporaries of J. Scott for sure. I try to think of a few that I have in mind, but they don't come to mind quickly. But yeah, it looks great. They go with the classic outfits, which I think is the perfect way to represent them. It's a very sexy looking one, and I really like this one. I'll tell you this, I really like this one. I found it very appealing. The height, to see them in this romance take, it's so cool. This is one of the coolest pieces that they have produced, in my opinion. Sometimes I like it when Sideshow does this kind of like a more laid back type of stuff, a very laid back statue, but it's done the right way. They do look both great and happy, which is great. It's a very happy piece. Definitely one that I'm thinking that perhaps I would love to have here in the house. I think my wife would love it too. She would love to see it on display somewhere in the living room. So I don't know, I'm thinking about it. Very nice looking. This is a beautiful piece for sure. Hey, what's up, squad? I don't like that it's a 1/5. Also, Gambit's teeth showing like that. Yeah, that's the only thing that I would say. The teeth from that angle looks like, man, like he looks like Goofy. Yeah, that's the only thing that I would say. And yeah, the 1/5 point, I get it. Like people were thinking that this will be quarter scale, which is something more customary there. But I do like it though. I do like it. This is not for a companion, you know, with the other collection. This is a standalone piece. Unless you are strictly a quarter scale collector, that's all you want. And definitely I can see that you will stick with that. I like it though. I think it's a very nice concept. And yeah, at first I was thinking that it will be a quarter scale. But yeah, 1/5. I do like it. I think when Sideshow does this kind of romantic pieces, I think they do really good. And they look great. I think, and they do look happy for sure. And definitely Rogue looks like the whole package. Like they're not like I see on the show. Sometimes I feel like Rogue looks like a little too, I don't know, like she doesn't have the cake anymore or something. Here she has the cake, and that's, you know, the way I remember Rogue from the 90s. And yeah, Gambit, yeah, it's good. Now it may have some issues with leaning, and that I can certainly say, yeah, because of the way it's displayed. Yeah, that is an option. You know, that is an option. That is definitely a possibility. So we'll see. You know, you never know. Definitely Sideshow. I like it. I think I like this piece. This is what released this week, and I think it's cool. Now the price point though is the only thing that I would say that kind of like it should be more. It's 2 characters. Maybe that's the thinking there. 600 would have been the perfect price. 600 would be the most in my opinion, but 750, of course, as they sell this stuff nowadays. Because there's 2 characters, and you know, like the quarter scale are into that price range for 1 character. So yeah, I would say it seems legit. Not necessarily a happy thing, but yeah, I like this one. I certainly do. So kudos to them for that. Now let me take you back to Spec Fiction, because now we move into the next company, which in this case is Sume Art. Now Sume Art has 2 releases this week. I'm gonna go first for the smaller piece and that was released. This is the 1/6. Then we're gonna go to this quarter scale Dragon Ball Z Son Goku statue. But here it's a Capricorn Shura, one of the golden knights, and this is the HQS 1/6 scale statue. $845 for him. I'm not sure if I talked to him about this one. Did I talk about this one before? I'm not sure, man. It's hard to keep track of things. But here you can see the base looks fantastic. Now I'm confused if I did talk about this one. But I do like it. It has an LED on, portraying his power. I think I did. I probably did. But in any case, I'm gonna kind of cover it again, maybe, because I don't remember. I like the base. The detail on that base and the statue. I don't know. I don't think I have. I have seen it. But I think they represented in this action pose. He looks fantastic. The portrait looks amazing. And of course, you got the additional head where you can change it. It's a very nice piece. I would say Sume does amazing on 1/6 scale with these statues. I think it's well balanced. The difference between the other pieces that we were talking about with the one piece where there was so much power, so much color, this one is more clear. And of course, you know, it doesn't have a much of covering around him, so you can actually concentrate on him. But it does have the Athena statue in the background. And yes, even though it's in the background, it's not overpowering. Sure, I think that it's very clear that this is a statue of representation of him. And I think they did a really nice job. I would say that what Sume does great is they know how to balance their statues the right way. And it looks fantastic, even the effects of the power right there. And the other day, the center here is Shura and not the effects or the power itself, or, you know, his sword, the sword that he has, you know, that's what his power is in his arm. So yeah, it's a cool one. Very cool. The picture, $845 for 1/6. Definitely keep in mind there's not necessarily the scale, but also the height, the size, everything that comes with this piece, all the detail, which it's reflected in the price point. Now the next piece in the collection, now getting into the quarter scale route, you're looking at Dragon Ball Z Son Goku Super Saiyan HQS Dynamax. That's what they call it, the standard. This is a quarter. It's almost $1,700. This is a huge piece, and you can see this other here, Son Goku Super Saiyan. This is the standard color version. Now looking at this one, you can have, I think this one is that you can change the parts, the transformation. So you can go from this to this or that. and you can have actually the two displays. You can display both together, and that is the reason why you're paying this high premium. Secondly, you have this and the conversion. Not only you have the, you have the character itself. You can see it like this as he's transforming into a Super Saiyan. That is a very, very cool concept. And the way they did the effects with the water and the stones, as you remember when he transformed for the first time into Super Saiyan in Namek. I think that's the name of the where he transformed for the first time. And of course, the lightning and the power. I think it's a good balance of doing it. That Goku looks really fantastic. The paint job is excellent on that piece. And now the full transform Goku. It's so cool that they went into this to create a transformation. The Lido feature is amazing. This is another thing that I've always mentioned about Sume, the way they do the clear resin and everything, and the PVC and the combination of things to make it look so realistic. No Western company does it that way. No Western company has the ability to produce it this way. They don't know how to do it as well as these companies do, and Sume is one of the best doing it. Yeah, you can say some companies, perhaps like Pure Arts, when they do some of the statues and the Lido features that they do, very complicated and intricate, they're great. But when it comes about really adding all this detail, Sume is one of the best, and it's superior to many Asian companies for sure. The detail is there, and it's so good at it. The Lido feature really works so fine. It's such a beautiful piece, and look at that. It shines. It has the Dragon Ball Z logo there. Very cool. So here's with like a little bit of without the Lido. The Lido really serves a lot. Very nice piece. Now to the, when you look at it, when you really see it right next to the guy, this guy that works there, I guess is the sculptor, you can certainly see the price point. You can certainly see why it's priced that way. It's just a huge piece, a huge diorama, and it's really, really well done. So kudos to them for that. As always, Spec Fiction always carries some of this, the very cool stuff, and $1,700 is a tough pill to swallow. There's 1,400 pieces, so there's a demand for sure, 1,400. But it's Goku, and I'm sure it's gonna sell, and it's gonna sell well. And it's kind of cool that they have it here. So this is what Sume did this time around. Now, talking about quarter scale pieces, there was another release. This is Dead Dealer by Fran Frazetta. $679. This is by Dream Figures. This company does all sort of things. Just to give you an idea what Dream Figures is, they release all kind of statues, dioramas of all sort of things. There's a lot of things that they have done here. Some things on the wait list for sure. So they have some very cool, interesting things here. Now, this company, I think it's a Chinese company, if I'm not mistaken, Dream Figures. They got this one. The prices, I think, is right. A Dead Dealer. Fran Frazetta is always going to be considered one of the greatest artists of our time. His work inspires so many artists of all sorts. And definitely on the darker things where like he was doing, like the Dead Dealer, and there's been so many great statues of Dead Dealer, of things, representations on different scales, and where there's custom pieces, where there is from companies. This is a new thing that they're doing here, and it looks intriguing, bloody for sure, not for everyone. This is definitely on the darker tone. They even were darker than what Frazetta normally does in his paint work, but that's the Dealer for sure. So I think they inspire it from it. It has that big shield right there. And it may have a Lido feature, perhaps. I like the fact that this one has interchangeable parts with the different weapons, with the axe, all of that. It's definitely on the darker tone, and I think the most intriguing thing about it is the price point. I think the price is excellent as a standpoint. It's a hand painted, it's cast in high quality resin, interchangeable arms for multiple things. It doesn't have a Lido feature, but it has interchangeable parts, and I think it's a great entry point for something that is very mostly not for everyone, but it's for the people who are fans of this type of characters, darker characters, with anything that has to do a little more mythological sense, and they love Frazetta, which there's many people out there that love Frazetta work. So definitely this is something worth looking at. It's made out of polystone, so that is not bad. All right, so that is what we look from Dream Figures. Let me take you now to the next company, and this is Tri-Eagles. Tri-Eagles always does amazing work as well. Right here we have it. This is the most recent release. This beautiful representation of Ghostblade Princess Lian, Wind Drag. This is $105. Now, just to give you an idea what the contents here, this is it doesn't see the materials, but they do have combinations of this as far as I know. If I'm not mistaken, they also do a little bit of that silicone parts. I'm not sure here if it says that. Oh, it's polystone, polyurethane, and transparent parts. So it's polyurethane, so it's gonna be a little bit more of that kind of PVC type of thing. It's a very nice piece. Let me drink some water. Here you can see, very nice color. She looks really pretty for sure. Very sexy looking, and that's something that they do with this statue. Triangles do some amazing work with this. Very nice concept. I like the flow. Very interesting. Interesting the way they set up the base. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece. Very nice detail on the skin. I like how they do the skin and the detail. There's like a little transparent plastic thing or polyurethane thing. I like how it flows and how transparent the clothing looks. Very nice. The thing in the chain thing that they put in their face, you can do that. Very nice figure, beautiful for sure. Very cool concept from Ghostblade. Just to give you an idea what Triangles has been doing recently, we're gonna look at some of the stuff that is here. They do amazing female characters for sure, but also they do other. We have seen some of the stuff they did for Naruto. But look at the stuff, you know, they do amazing work, amazing collections of pieces. The female characters is, I think they're great. I've talked about it in this channel many times. You know, for the last 3-4 years, I have seen so many of the pieces, and the female pieces are just knockouts. You know, they're great pieces. They're really good. I like this stuff. They do Naruto stuff that is great too, but I think what really attracts me to Dry Eagles is the female characters that they do, primarily for you know, for Ghostblade. Really cool. But they do for other type of things, and everything they do is just amazingly good looking. So yeah, it's great. Of course, they have done stuff for Street Fighter. This Chun-Li is really amazing. We have seen also this Mei Shiranui. So, you know, they do amazing work. You know, the anime stuff is great, but the female characters, Ghostblade has been definitely the bread and butter, or the one that actually kept them going. They also did this amazing Darkstalkers Morrigan. So yeah, they do amazing. The female characters, I think they have it down pat. They know what they're doing there. So kudos to them for doing this amazing thing. Now let me take you to PCS. Let's go to PCS. I'm trying to make sure that we got everything. Yeah, let's go to PCS. We're gonna look at the exclusives of PCS because they release a few things this week, starting with Kamen. And they also released Magic Johnson, which if you're a fan of Magic Johnson, if you're a fan of the NBA, then you're going to look at that. So let's look first at Magic Johnson, which is the most recent one. Before we get into, they went into, I would say the likeness of Magic, it's there in some way, not 100%. Quarter scale, edition size 150 is small. That's perhaps the one from the one, it does look like Magic, like when he was younger for sure, and he has the goatee and all. It does have some of that likeness, yeah. It's not 100%, but you know, I don't think any of the pieces they have released in this collection have 100% likeness. But there's no denying that that's Magic Johnson, and you can see it right there. Looks really, really cool. Very nice, actually, pose that they chose. Commanding Magic, you know, he was always very commanding as a captain. You know, he was great, and it looks great. They made a nice, they took a nice choice of Magic, and one of, you know, at the top of his career for sure. The number 32 right there. It's still the same base concept that they've been doing. Very, very cool. Very nice paint job. Nice tone on the skin. Magic looks great. Very nice. Really like it. Definitely this for the sport fan. They're gonna love it for sure. Even the ball looks great. Very nice paint. Of course, you know, when you get to see the piece in person, once you get the final product, you know, you lose some of that quality that you see in the prototypes, but it's still, I think that it's a very, 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 very nice depiction of Magic. And if you're building this collection, which is growing so nicely, as you can see, we talk about Larry Bird, we talk about Michael Jordan, which I think they're legends for sure. You know, they're going for the legends, and that's great. So we'll see what's next in this collection, what else they're gonna bring. But I want to talk about Kami, because Kami, of course, you got the classic silver exclusive, but there's 3 Kamis that have happened with this collection, quarter scale, 150 pieces for this exclusive version. And you can go here. I will always recommend to go to Premium Collectibles to pre-order before you go to Sideshow anywhere else, because you get all the extra things, the things that only PCS gives as exclusive, which is great. But this is going with the classic outfit. She looks fantastic. Of course, we already saw Chun-Li doing this. And she looked great. And very, very cool, man. She's a tough girl. Like, I can see, like, she doesn't look like big. I think she only looked bigger. Like, their ties were a lot bigger than Kami's. But I think she looks great. Again, this is not for everyone. This is for the completionists. This is for the people that want to have something like this. If it's different, maybe in a gym, you want to display in your own personal gym or something, have something like Kami. I think there's a beautiful depiction. This is the art that they use for inspiration. And, you know, they use it for inspiration, but definitely the art is not the same. This Kami doesn't look anime. This is more like anime. And here you can see definitely it has more like a more realistic look, but it's the inspiration from this. And she looks like muscle up. Like, you know, she is tough. Man, she looks like even the bosom strong, you know, like, you know, she looks strong. And the bag, there's cake there for sure. Now you can see it there. You know, this is you go for the classic, you know, go for the classic. Very nice. I like the classic for sure. Definitely. That cake is good. Who doesn't like cake? But yeah, you see that is a nice piece. Very nice detail, nice paint job. This Capcom right there, 45 pounds. So he has 2, that's 90 pounds, 180 pounds just lifting. That girl's strong, then. Look at that. And of course, you got to have a shot of the cake. All right. So yeah, that is what it is on this one. Now, the other 2 versions that we have, you got the one, of course, based on Street Fighter 6. That is also an exclusive, comes also with the extra parts. And this one, of course, has more of that new outfit, which, you know, it looks fine. I do like the other one, though. I do like the new Street Fighter statue that was, of course, showcased at the Prime One Studio. I think that is a nice way to represent Kami with the new outfit. Here, of course, is the art that is used. If you order from here, I think you can also get this exclusive art print to go with it. Yeah, it's nice. Of course, if you are a completionist, you want that, that's fine. I still like the other one a lot more than this more modern outfit. Still, it's a nice outfit. She definitely looks strong. A little more serious, I think, in the paint. Like, she looks a bit more serious than the other one, but her hair is shorter. The other one has the classic ponytails. This is a lot shorter, and of course, she has the England flag in the back of her jacket, you know. Still has the cake. Very cool. Again, I think my favorite here is the classic. This will be the follow-up right now, as far as I know. Full detailed, nice paint job. The base is simple. It goes with the motif there. That's what you need. You don't need anything else. So that's the one that we have. And then we have the last one. This one is based on the Alpha games. I would say that this is my second favorite because I do like the Alpha games. Definitely looks great. It still has the, you know, the ponytails. Looks really good. I think with the white Joga pants looks great too. Nice detail. I like this one very much. Now with the white, maybe the cake doesn't look as prominent. Sorta though. Look at that again. Definitely, that is a very interesting angle. But you can see that, you know, good. You know, I think I like it. I like the blue. I like that even the, you know, the weights have the tone, different tone that works really well. It's not all black. I think the choice to make them in color is great. That really adds up. Definitely, this is a beautiful one. It's really nice. I think the combination of the colors, it's what makes it really look very stand out. Really like the hair. Definitely looks like Kami to me. And it's really well done. So yeah, this is a beautiful piece. Again, I like the classic one. This is the second one, the newer one. Definitely that will be the third one. Definitely like this nice combination of yellow, blue, very nice choice and color. Very beautiful one too. It has cake too, yeah, it's for sure. But yeah, it's a really nice. Again, the price is here. I think $600 is a nice fair price. Very nice, very unique, very different pieces. They're all the same, but I like that Premium Collectibles does this. You know, that you get that's something that they historically they have done from the beginning, from the original era. They always got the exclusives, you know, they always had the variants, and they've always been known for variants. And I think they are some of the best. They know how to do variants, you know, and that's great. It's not just a repaint. It changes a lot of things in the chain, not just the colors, but also in the sculpt, and that is great. So yeah, that's what PCS is giving us. Now, let's go to Prime One Studio. Now, Prime One Studio definitely had a busy time last week. They have new releases, the new products they have. You can see they have the little things that they've been doing. We're not gonna cover that. I'm gonna look at the Prisma Wing just very quick. They have this Misaka Mikoto. This is part of the Prisma Wing, something that they're producing. You know, they're really emphasizing in some way. $199. Really don't know much of this character. But that's definitely a market that a Prime One is going after. There is definitely a strong market out there. And there's been many companies over the years selling figurines. And I think that they can certainly get there and be a competitor among the rest. You know, if, you know, and it's Prime One Studio. You know, I think that is the name attached to it. People seem to like a lot. It's a very nice, very playful, very nice stand. This is made out of PVC. Very unique. I'm not necessarily familiar with this character. It looks really nice. Nice detail. Very simple. It's a beautiful piece to look at with a lot of nice detail. The base seems simple. Maybe too simple in some way. But now it says bonus version. I'm not sure it's because what is the bonus there? It's a very playful, this young girl, you know, having a good time dancing, I guess. She's dancing on the floor, on the dance floor. So looks great. Now the bonus part, let me look at this photo here. Okay, the bonus effect part. So it's the effect that it has with the hand. That's something that only comes with this one. So the regular doesn't have it. $200. Interesting. Part of the Prisma Wing. You saw the height. We don't know exactly. I'm not sure is the scale is. It's a 1/7 scale, just for reference there. But the next one on the Prisma Wing, the one that also was showcased at the presentation and the next level showcase 11, is this one, another Prisma Wing piece. This one is a non-scale, but to be the Fapuda, it's definitely one of those where it's interesting for sure. Here you can see this is a very interesting one. Scale wise, it could be like I don't know, like a 6 or something. I do like the detail on this one, the base and the way they presented this. I'm not necessarily you know, made an Abyss fan, or I know much about it, but I do like what they did with this base and how tall it is in the presentation. It's very nice detail. It has very nice height, 27 centimeters. You're looking at, you know, like almost 30 centimeters, half a meter. Well, not half a meter. Half a meter is 50. I'm sorry, but you know, it's technically, if you remember in school, we have to have the rules. For those who are not familiar, a ruler is normally 30 centimeters. A ruler, you know, for those who are familiar with the metric system. So 30 centimeters is a ruler. So that tells you that the piece is gonna be this tall. So it's not necessarily the tallest, but that gives you just a fair idea of this. And I like the detail on this girl. Very nice. Very cool little Prisma Wing piece. And this is what they're doing really with the Prisma Wing. They're going into those concepts, you know, these ideas that are unique, very Japanese, the anime, all that might not be necessarily the biggest things, and they can actually create those characters that are less expensive, less investment, but also that there is a market out there and people seem to love, and there's always a market for it, and people seem to like there's more fans out there willing to pay the price for those. It's $250, $260. This is the regular version. I don't think there is another version. The Golden City of the Scorching Sun. You know, that's made in Avis. All right, so this is the one. But the piece that I want to cover today, I would say the big reveal from Prime 1 Studios, this Power, one of my favorite pieces at the showcase. This is the deluxe bonus version, DX bonus version, edition 350 pieces. It's $1,400. It is, but then again, this is a quarter scale piece. Just keep that in mind. The quarter scale piece. And I think it's well balanced. It's definitely, there were other pieces there that were really fantastic in depiction, but I like that this one, it was so well balanced, it's well executed, it's simple in some ways, but it does have a lot of detail. Here you have the bonus part, is this cat. That is it's a companion, a proximity piece. And here you have the little cat. And man, that mace is huge. And that hammer is huge. And it's interchangeable. You know, you can also change it to the swords, which are bloody for sure. You got the swappable portraits. On the DX, you get this extra portrait with showing her teeth. And then you got the regular one. You know, she is in a really action pose. I think this is the best depiction of Power that I've seen. Even the Kotobukiya, the most recent Kotobukiya is really nice. The Kotobukiya, which is a smaller piece, but this is a bigger piece, and I think has a better detail, of course, because he has more switch outs. You get the you know, in this case the hammer or the mace, and then you get the, you know, this case the axe and the swords and that head that been severed, and it looks good. You know, the swappable face parts, I think. Oh, so it's not like the head, is that you swap the face. Interesting. And then the weapons, which the regular only comes with this one, but the deluxe version comes with all the extra ones, which is the reason why you should go for the deluxe one. Man, she's tiny, but man, she's carrying that like she's ready to pound you for sure. And she's all bloody and there's an explosion of blood. This is a simple piece that is executed the right way, in my opinion. That is how you execute simple pieces, unsema action poses. There's an action here, but I like the flow of the hair because she's jumping into battle for sure, and it flows so nicely. Even the tips of the hair are a bit transparent. Very nice choice with that, which is something amazing. In my opinion, it has a lot of strands of hair. This is one thing that has a lot of things that definitely are great little details, you know, like the blood and the splashes of blood in there. Very cool. Now with the DX part. 131 pictures. We're not gonna see them all. You can at your own leisure come and watch and look at them. But I think they did a really nice job with this piece overall. Very nice detail there. Power looks fantastic, and definitely this is going to be a fantastic companion with Chainsaw Man together. I think that is the purpose, to keep them together. I think that's when this piece is going to shine a lot for sure. Yeah, that is good. And of course, here with the axe, which is the one that comes with the regular one, which also is a good one, but definitely all those extra parts giving a nice preview. Look at that. That's just scary, bloody, gory, interesting. Her shoes, you know, like she's a killer for sure. And all those zombies and stuff. That is cool. So yeah, this is it. You know, like we're gonna actually, let's just finish it. We are close to the end. Very interesting piece. Definitely one of my favorites. Not because I'm a fan of this, not because I'm a fan of Gorgeous, because I'm not really. It's just because I feel that it was executed to perfection. I think it was perfect. I don't see another way to do it. I don't see anything wrong with it. You know, yes, it was done, you know, the way that I think people will appreciate. And it's great just that way. So yeah, nice piece. Definitely nice addition to the collection. That, you know, this collection keeps growing. Here you got the Denji Chainsaw Man. This is the other. So now you got two companions, which is great. It's great. All right, so we got that out of the way. I'm gonna take you back to Sideshow. And there's where we go to Sideshow. Now I'm gonna take you to look at Hollywood Collectibles. We're gonna look at some life-size props. And Hollywood Collectibles did this Predator 2 plasma caster. Again, Hollywood Collectibles dedicates itself to props, and if you like you're a Predator fan, this plasma caster and added, this is made out of more than likely polystone. I'm not necessarily a big fan of props in per se. Some I do. This is something that it would not cross me, or I would say I need to have. But I know there are a lot of fans out there that love to get these things, and you know, even friends that I have, you know, and it's very cool. Now it's pricey, and that's my only concern about this one, because it's not made out of a diecast. So that's my concern about a lot of the Hollywood collectible stuff nowadays is made out of really polystone. It's resin. So that is my only concern for the price. I feel that, you know, it could be better. So it's cool if you're it's polystone and mixed media. I don't know where the mixed media is, but it's just polystone. So if you're looking for a replica, this is not necessarily a replica. This is more like a statue of a replica on the life-size thing. But, you know, if you keep that, this is from Hollywood Collectibles. I talked about it in the channel here before. Here, kind of give you an idea what Hollywood does or what they have here on pre-order. They also produce statues. We have seen that RoboCop. I talked about the alien thing there before. You know, everything they have. You know, some of the stuff that they do is really, really cool. But everything they've been doing recently, it's been technically just polystone stuff. You know, like, you know, all those replicas are just polystone stuff. You know, that's it. You know, not die-cast elements there. But yeah, that's just what Hollywood is releasing this week. Now, the next thing I want to cover, talking about that, I want to take you to talk about Pure Arts. Pure Arts released two things recently. Life-size, they got the Gollum art mask. This is a life-size bust, although it's really a mask. It's $1,000 for this one. It's an ugly one. It's ugly. And there's the ring at the bottom there. They, you know, I'm not sure why they didn't choose just to do a bust itself and just to do the mask. I'm not necessarily like a fan of this, but I like Pure Arts. I know, I think it's a great company, and the guys there, they work for the company. They're cool, very cool. So it's very interesting, and it's so ugly in my mind. And you know, it's like not a bust, but just a mask. It's just intriguing to me. It's not. For size reference with that, as an ugly fella for sure. But you're like into that kind of thing, and you want to have this into your collection, $1,000, and that you have it. You know, it's not the best thing, but also, in my opinion, not the best way to spend $1,000. But you know, hey, at the end of the day, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So if you like this thing, go for it. You know, it doesn't. It's not bad. It actually, the likeness is spot on. You know, that you can give him that. All right. So the next thing I want to cover here is this one. They also released this Arm of Millennia. If you are a fan of Elden Ring, the video game, of course, then this is something from the game, which I haven't really played Elden Ring, so I'm not necessarily. A limited edition to 3,500 pieces. That's a lot of pieces. And this is part of the game, I guess. This is the arm, what they did with this. It's interesting. I was thinking, what, do the flowers come with it? No, it's just the art in the background, but this is the arm. If you want something, I think Pure Arts does very interesting things, concepts, and replicas of stuff in gaming. It's something that they do, and I think there's room for that. Very cool. A lot of people love Elden Ring. You know, Prime One Studio was supposed to release something that they haven't released it yet. Something that people are still waiting to see. But very cool. Definitely Pure Arts. Definitely love the weathering there. I think, not sure. I think this is made out of polystone as well. Just for reference, let me look on the details. Additional details. He doesn't really say. But more than likely it's made out of some type of resin, as they always do with this type of things. But it's cool, you know, just for display. It's not like you're gonna wear it, it's just for display purposes. So that is really cool from Pure Arts. All right, the last thing of the night, and I'm gonna take you, man, it's been a long journey tonight. I'm gonna take you to the last piece that I want to cover tonight, and this is the last release. This is a life size, which surprised me when I saw it. I thought it was a quarter scale, and then all of a sudden I said, "What the heck?" The price, and then I look at that, and it's a life size statue of Ayori Yagami, which is in the King of Fighters. This is based on the King of Fighters 97 in particular. Ayori wasn't introduced in 97; he was introduced in 96. So, but here is based on that particular game. And I gotta be honest, man, I wasn't expecting this a life size. Who wouldn't like something like this? But then I look at the base, just the base alone. I think that's expensive. And let me look at the materials where they're using for this. It's polystone, it's polyurethane, ABS, PVC. So it's a mixed media. You know, there's so many things there. Let me see if we can see the video here. Look at that. This is for a reference if you don't know if you can see that video there, but very interesting. You know, sometimes when they do this life-size statues, they don't bother with the base. They just simply do the statue itself. But Unique Art decided just to go, you know, to be extra about it and really create a big base to go alongside it. Now, I will tell you this, it looks really, really good. The base itself, the 97 King of Fighters logo there, it's nice touch in my opinion. And is that the guy next to it? Is that you know, like the comparison of a gentleman? Of course, this is, you know, supposedly Kia or whatever, but that guy's kind of tiny. So I don't know if this is actually the actual comparison of a scale with a person. I don't know how tall he is. He doesn't look that big. It shouldn't be like if it's right next to the guy. If that is an actual comparison. But yeah, because I gotta look at the height. It looks kind of cool though. And definitely the detail on that base, I think, is a nice touch. Very nice done. Nicely done. That's why it's so expensive. This is the one that is definitely going to find a market mostly in other places. You know, even in Latin America, some people will be interested in having something like this. So, yeah, you can see it. Just to give you an idea of the dimensions, let's see if we can see them here. The length is 127. The height is 2.4 centimeters. So it's almost 2 meters. It's pretty tall. It's over 6 feet tall. You know, over 6 something. Like, try to remember exactly how much is 2 meters. Just to give you an idea. Let me kind of do the math here because I haven't, you know, sometimes it's hard for me. Like, conversions is hard. You know, like I grew up in Latin America and Mexico. So, you know, for me, you know, I was accustomed to the American way, like to the you know, the metric way. But living in America for a long time, most of my life, you know, of course, you get used to the royal way to measure. And sometimes, you know, because in America, I don't use metric system. The only time I use metric system is when I am, you know, when I talk to my parents and things like that. So it's just something that, just bear with me while I'm doing. Yeah, it's actually 6.5 feet. It's actually how tall that is. So 6.5. It's pretty tall. You know, and yeah, so it's definitely on the really tall side. I don't think Ayori was even that tall in real life. I don't think the characters are that tall, but hey, that gives you an idea of the reference of how tall this piece is. It definitely is going to look very interesting. Edition size to 99 pieces. That's the price. Very cool looking, very nice base. Very, you know, I think it's going to be a standout in any collection that you may have. So, all right, my friends, this is the last piece of today. Very, very, very happy to finally come to the end. I'm gonna give a few minutes if somebody wants to say something. Although it's been like dead in here. It's been dead for sure. So not sure if anybody's interested in watching the videos anymore. I like to make the videos, but even people will come back later and watch it. But I want to say now, yeah, coming to the end. Of course, it's late. It's been at this for 3 hours, over 3 hours now. Definitely companies are doing there's a lot of things that we can take of what companies are doing. Companies are still producing. I think there's a market out there for so many different things, so many collectibles, and it's great, you know. And I know that, you know, sometimes people can get overwhelmed with so much stuff, and people want to focus on one thing, and it's fine to focus on one thing. You should focus on one thing instead of focusing on so many things. Don't follow my example. I focus on everything. But the reality is that I like to focus on things, not because I collect everything. It's just mostly because I like a lot of things, and also because I think what companies do, and I'm a daydreamer, I guess, it really motivates me, teaches me. I learn a lot from those things, and that really gives me a better perspective, and trying to have a more rounded opinion about a lot of things in every niche. And also what trends are happening in one part of the hobby or the industry really affect the other one. Like what companies do, for example, when I talk about Sume Art and these Asian companies doing the way they're designing their anything that has to do with effects, clearly resin stuff, whether it's water effects, fire effects, smoke effects, all of that, what they've been doing, it's so good that in this side, when they're doing the, you know, the superhero stuff, the more Western, you know, the American companies, the European companies are still, primarily American companies, they still don't know how to do well. So they're learning, you know, like for them as longest, even Sideshow was not really doing great effects with smoke and water. They still not having it packed. The sculptors are not really doing it that way, but they can learn from these other companies. I think they kind of send a trend. The way some companies do their bases, the way they balance, like one thing about Sume, I like how they balance things. That as an example that could be taken by other companies, like in Asia, where they do so much stuff and it's so busy and there's so much stuff going on. Even Prime One Studio started too busy with their bases, and now they're kind of tuned down some of those, and it really feels better and more visually pleasing. And I think it's a lot of things, there's some back and forth. All these artists are learning from all these other companies and other franchises, and then bringing that into their own companies, into their own products, into their own designs. And I think enriches the whole thing as a whole. No man is an island. I don't think the companies are islands. I don't think the hobby should be an island. I don't think should be room for Marvel statues or DC statues. There has to be room for everything. And in this very diverse market, of course, there's so many things that we can love and like. There's something for everyone, and that is great, And also, there's still stuff that are on the affordable price, although most prices are going up and everything. There's still some affordable things out there, and there's still something there to please the fans of a particular franchise, particular movie, particular animation, manga, novel, whatever. There's something there to please people. And that to me is a great thing about this market. So yeah, it's exciting to see these companies. Definitely the year continues on, and more stuff is coming our way. Action figures and more statues. Companies are going into this. I just read in one of my breaks, I read that also Mondo not only gonna do Thundercats, they're also talking about they're gonna do also collectibles for the real Ghostbusters, which I'm a big fan of. So the reality is that these companies always are making a comeback, and all these licenses are, taking life once again by these collectible companies, and that is amazing. It amazes me that there's a connection out there, that we are connected to so many people all over the world that are so interested in these things that we grew up, that we thought back in the day as a kid, I thought I was the only one that liked something, maybe a couple of kids that I knew in my neighborhood and my school, my cousins and things like that, my brother, and we loved certain cartoons. Coming to find out that I was not alone, that there was hundreds of thousands and millions of people out there in the world also feeling the same way, and we still feel the same way after all this years. So that is always amazing, that the way that we can connect with other people with the things that we grew up with, the things we love very, very much. So my friends, I want to say again, thank you very much. Thank you for your support. Do not forget to leave a like, to subscribe to the channel. You're watching this for the first time, you like what you see. Tell me how you feel about these things. I know that there was not much conversation tonight as other nights, but you can always leave your comments in the video. I will have the timestamps tomorrow. So for those who are interested to come back here and watch things in segments, I will have all that ready for you. Let me know what you think about the things that we covered tonight. Let me share with me your opinion, how you feel about it. and we'll discuss it. You know, we'll do a follow-up. So my friends, God bless you. Take care. Have a good night. Have a great weekend, and I'll